Hello, welcome everyone. I'm getting the link now. Broken. There's a link. I'm sorry. I just now I forgot to drop it. Uh, how's everybody doing tonight? We're going to be talking about Darlie Routier tonight. So I hope everybody is going to enjoy that. It's a really good case. Um, hey Angela. Hey Kelly Cares. Hey Southern Lady. Hey Ginger. Hey Shot of Poison. Hey let me see who else. A Southern Lady. Hmm?
My foot hurts.
Okay.
But I want to show you it.
Hey, Jen in Jersey.
Mimi, I want to show you it. Like, it's right there.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay. I'll look at it in a little bit.
On the couch?
Yeah, I'll look at it on the couch in just a little bit. Sorry, y'all. That was my granddaughter. So how's everybody doing tonight? Broken's coming up. We're gonna discuss this. But I just thought I'd say hello to everybody first. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Angela, I'm going to listen while I finish folding laundry. Yeah, yeah. Just made shrimp scampi, but I'm here. Good. That sounds good, Betty Boo. How are you doing, Betty?
Oh,
Hey,
shrimp scampi is my favorite.
I know I love some shrimp scampi. That's good stuff.
I love scampi butter, but I can't make it right.
Green Eyes, you changed your profile picture, didn't you? It's a different picture. Um, Good to see all of y'all. We
How
got.
is everybody?
I think I forgot to say. Oh,
What?
I was reading a comment.
Oh.
Is everybody having a good night tonight? Come on over, baby. My niece is stopping by in a few, so I'll be in and out until she leaves. Okay, Shadow Poison, that sounds good. Um, well, we're going to be talking about Dolly Routier. It's Dolly Lynn Peck Routier. She's an
Yeah,
American woman from what'd you say, Rolette?
Rowlett.
Raleigh,
Rowlett. Uh-huh.
who was sentenced to death for the murder of her 5-year-old son, Damien, in 1996. She has also been charged with the capital murder and the death of her 6-year-old son, Devin, who was murdered at the same time Damien was. They died June the 6th, 1996. So this has been since 1996. She's 53 years old right now. She's sitting on death row right now. So, and a lot of the evidence and stuff to us is we think she might be innocent. I don't know. Put it on subs only. Oh shoot, I forgot to do that.
Yeah, because
I think I did put it on subs only already. I
you
think
never know today.
still don't know what to think about this case. Yes, I know this is a good case. We really liked it. Me and Broken did, and we dug into it and watched some stuff on it, and I know Broken knows a little bit more than I do about it. She's really dug in a lot about it and stuff. But she was married to Darren Routier from 1988 to 2011. They stayed married after she got sentenced till 2011. Then they got divorced and he remarried.
He remarried like right away.
Yeah, he stood by her side the whole time until he, later on until 2011.
Well, you know me. I don't consider that standing by her
Yeah,
side. I
she thinks
consider
he's
that. What do you call that? A safety net so that he don't, he's shielded himself with her.
yeah. Let me see if I put it
It's
on
like
sub.
throw your wife under the bus. I mean, I don't know. I just have a different way of thinking, I guess. But see, I don't know. That's the only logical explanation that I have for it. But they didn't even investigate anyone else. They had their eye on her and they went after her because they said that she was materialistic and that she overspent and they just did not like her. I mean, just because of the way she was, her personality and stuff. And I think that's why they went after her.
Let me I'll pull
Jen,
up some
Jen,
pictures.
you will know. I mean, by the time it's over with, I live 2.5 hours away from Rowlett, and I used to live there, and it is a little bitty town, and it is, but it's so strange. That little town is really strange because um, it's like in it's like you get off of the main roads to and get into this town, and you're like in the twilight zone. You're like somewhere else because it's so small, and the houses are real close together. Though that's
Here's a
what's
picture of her when she was sentenced. Back when she was first sentenced, I got a picture of her up on the screen, and I'll
now.
take you through some pictures of her.
Now, how old did you say she was? Because I forgot.
She's 53 now.
No, how old was she when she got? Uh,
I don't even know how old she was. I can't. I have to
it's
write that
okay.
down. Whenever
I
she,
get it.
just do the math. 53, 1996 and 53. There's Darren and her and the two boys.
She had beautiful kids too,
Yeah,
though.
there's
I
all
mean,
three of her boys.
those boys were beautiful,
She was a
and
very pretty lady too. She was
right,
very pretty.
and see, and people um just kind of took her the wrong way. I think she was disliked by people that were around her, women especially, because she got a I think she got a boob job, and some other things done, and they didn't like that about her.
Yeah, they said that she got a $2,000 boob job and
Yeah,
materialistic and stuff.
yeah. They said she was very materialistic and she overspent, and uh, basically she didn't do her part. And I just don't think that they looked into the motive of everything like they should have, because you know they said that her motive was that insurance money on those kids. Well, that insurance money that they had on those kids did not even, it wasn't enough to even bury them. So why would they say that? I mean, that makes no sense. And then they said it was postpartum depression, and the kids were cramping her lifestyle. I mean, but all the videos that I've seen and the pictures, she always is right there with them doing something fun and laughing with them, and they seem to be really close with her, and they just seem to be happy. But I don't see any like that of Darren and the boys. I mean, a few, but none like the bond like is with her.
Here's some
So,
with her bruises on her arm. I got a picture up of. Look at her arm. How
yeah,
bruised it is.
yeah. Can you show those pictures of those bruises? That's what. See,
Yeah,
this is what
her whole arm was bruised all the way up to her wrist. I mean,
I would have believed them say when they said the police said that she did it, if I had not seen these bruises. When I saw these bruises, it floored me. They are horrendous, and they're trying to say she did it to herself. Well, anybody that sees these bruises would know that she could not have done those to herself. That was her fighting for her life. I mean,
she had stitches
basically.
on her arm too. Her lower arm too. She had to have stitches down there too. I see,
Oh yeah,
and across her neck and across her shoulder, kind of like.
yes, yeah.
That's terrible.
And for a woman to take and cut your own throat, I mean, I just don't. I don't know. That would be. I mean, and to take that chance of her killing herself, she was so close to cutting that artery that it was just too close for me for comfort. How would she know how to cut it? And she cut it with the opposite hand and I think I think she was right-handed and she cut it with her left hand. They said that she cut it with the opposite hand than what a normal person would. So there's a lot that just don't add up. I mean, the evidence in the trial is just, they just didn't give her a fair trial. I just don't think they did. And we're going to get into the trial. We're going to cover the evidence and all that. And the stuff that, what shocks me is the stuff that the prosecutors can keep out. Important stuff. Uh,
Hey
they can,
Jay.
and then they can come up with their narrative that this is what happened in their opening statements, and even when they present the evidence with their experts, they can say this could not have happened any other way. Well, I just don't think that if you don't have money and you can't get those experts, it's not a fair trial.
And so, what about the silly string on the grave? Well, she was. You could tell she was nervous. Anybody that chews gum, that she looked like she was nervous. She wanted to celebrate her son's birthday. You could take that in different ways. The people can take it in different ways. Then I could look at it as she wanted to be happy because it's her son's birthday. Even but they took it the wrong way, and they pretty much used that. She was arrested um, 4
4 days
days
later.
4 days later after the silly string birthday party
Yeah.
birthday thing. They arrested her 4 days later.
And they put that secret camera on that, on close to the grave to capture, you know, what how the family was acting, when they come visit the grave and all that. That right there is just not right. I mean, I just don't think that is right in so many ways. And for them to use just that one part
Yeah,
of the silly string part, because that was their favorite thing in the whole world was silly string.
yeah,
That's why she did it. And she's not thinking clearly anyway. And I'm sure that they have her on medication to where that
yeah.
she can cope with it. And so she's just getting through the best she can, I think.
I don't think
But
it meant that she's guilty because she's smiling and stuff.
yeah,
I mean,
right,
anybody they're going to try to look good because she's got another child there too. She's got to take care
yeah.
of her other child. She can't
It was
just
only she only was smiling for that split. I mean, for just those few moments.
yeah.
I mean, because they didn't show the rest of it where she was breaking down, crying, and hugging her sister, and they didn't show any of that.
No, they
You
just
know,
showed the part where she was smiling
right,
and chewing
laughing.
that
Well,
gum
she was,
and
yeah, like she didn't care.
yeah.
But I mean, the
We
rest
don't
of
know
it,
how
she was
anybody. People don't know how anybody acts
right,
or something like that. Especially, they probably had her on some other medications to
right.
keep her sane and stuff.
And some people they take stress and pain and they laugh about things, laugh at everything.
Yeah,
I know a few people that are like that, and we think that it's so bizarre, but that's just the way they are. And for them to take that and to rip her to shreds with it, I can't imagine being my children, that happening to my children, and then the everybody pointing the finger at you, and you having to um, grieve your children, and then you have to start fighting for your life and your freedom. And she didn't even have time to know what life was going to be like without her children because she got them all taken away. She got all of her family taken away. She got her sisters and her mother and her husband and everybody. It wasn't just those two kids who were taking
her husband was even
everything.
out there smiling. If that was the case, they
Yeah,
would. Why wouldn't they think he was guilty too? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
But they didn't even they examined him, of course they did, but not like her. They did not take him, you know, um, laughing at the gravesite and turn it into something nasty.
Hey,
They didn't.
Jennifer.
They didn't turn every little detail about him into something nasty. They just didn't do it.
No.
Why didn't he hear her screaming? Why didn't he hear the boys screaming and fighting for their lives downstairs? Why didn't he wake up? Why? There's a lot of whys. And she had to keep screaming even after the 911 call to get him downstairs.
Yeah.
And he had, there were so many things that he had that he filed fraudulent insurance claims on. His car, breaking in the house and robbing it. He didn't, and that was one of his schemes, but he didn't follow through with it. But he was trying to get that done. So I think that I just totally believe they should have looked into him more
Yeah.
because she had a $450,000 life insurance on her head, and I think that I would have went after that. That makes more sense to me than that. she just wanted the boys out of the way. First it was for the money, and then her cramps her lifestyle. I just don't believe that. I
Yeah,
mean,
they found this. They found that sock. What I say, 80 yards away when they found that sock, and it
right.
had blood evidence of the boys on it.
Yeah.
Uh,
So,
but they never
it's just,
made anything out of that sock, though.
it's
Never.
one sock, and how did it get all the way down there? And it's in between houses. Like, it wasn't an alleyway, but it was like a grassy dirt area that went down through the houses where the fences didn't meet at the, they didn't meet like nowadays. A lot of places here, fences meet up to each other. It wasn't like that. There was enough room for people to go down like an alleyway, but it was grassy
So
alleyway.
done with it. Is that what you heard? She said she went to her aunt's house a week after the murders and happily announced that they were going to start trying for a little girl. I didn't hear that part. Hey, Corbell. Hey, so done with it.
But so done with it. Okay, I just don't understand. Well, that's one thing that I still have a question about is the sock. But she would have the time frame. I mean, the kids are attacked. She's attacked. She has to cut her throat and run out the back door. I mean, how does she get out the back door without, blood getting, from the boys transferred from their clothes to her clothes? How did she get out that sock down there without getting any blood in between the house and there? I don't understand that. And there was a couple of things I didn't quite understand. I don't understand about the screen being cut.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's one thing I didn't because
right,
sometimes.
I don't understand why the screen would be cut, unless it was supposed to be set up for a robbery, but it was unnecessary because they had a way in, and they were just setting it up like a robbery.
That's good. So done with it. She said, I read
I
all the
know,
transcripts,
yes.
studied the case for 10 years, and participated in a group to free her.
Oh, I'm
That's
glad that
awesome.
you did that because, man, I probably have a million questions for you then.
Have you followed up with it till today's time?
I'm doing that now. I'm going back and reading all the transcripts, um, and like reading over it again because it's been a long time. But I've just been trying to keep up with um the recent events and stuff that's been happening, and um, listen to the interviews and stuff like that, and how her behavior is now, uh, and the people covering the case because weekly they have these uh, supporters that really are supporting her strong. That um, they talk about how she's doing, and what's been taking place, and they talk about the case. They broke the case down to where that um, it's just sad. I just that because if she is innocent, can you imagine? I just can't imagine it. She's been in there all this time, and she's exhausted all of her um, appeals, and the governor could hand down the sentence anytime. He could bring it any tomorrow, and it could be carried out within a few, very short period of time. So she doesn't have much time. But
How did she get all the bruises and all the? I mean, she had bruises on her chest, all down her arm. I know people can probably hurt themselves. I just don't see how somebody could do that to themselves and then just go through all that and
right,
nearly almost kill herself.
Betty.
Nearly close to killing herself.
Right, Betty. But the evidence is um, whatever the prosecutors have presented, and it's their narrative that they're saying what happened when and you know how that uh, they can take the evidence. I mean, out of all the chaos, the two key points was, they said there was a cleanup at the sink. Well, there was so many people in there, and there was uh, water being ran in that sink for wet towels too.
Yeah.
And vacuum cleaner being knocked over in the blood. Well, there was so much chaos there. Who's to say that somebody didn't go by there, the
Right.
vacuum cleaner in the
Yeah,
chaos and knock
it
it
could have
over?
been one of the ambulance people or anybody.
You just don't. The neighbor was even in there,
She wouldn't have had the bruises in the hospital right away. They would have took time.
right?
The bruises has got to have
Yeah.
time to come up.
It
I mean, if
the
I
next
bruise my
day,
arm, sometimes it's not going to pop up right away.
right when I hit myself, like I last night, I put a goose egg on my butt. Well, I didn't get a bruise. It didn't start bruising until this evening. So it does take a little bit of time for the bruising to, start showing. But
Yeah,
those bruises were horrific. Somebody else would have had to have done that to her. I mean, those bruises were. I had never seen bruises like that. I mean, that was something else. But uh oh, the new info. Well, he's just it is well, okay.
hey
Well,
Molly.
um the new information is, I mean, the Innocence Project picked the case up. So there is a I don't know if he's a creator, I don't know. He does a lot of investigating journalism, and he decided to take this case and pick it apart piece by piece and see if he could find anything that was a little off, that should have been covered, or things that could have been explained. And there was some evidence that was left out. Like, okay, one of the new things was um, the knife that was used to cut the screen. Um, the material that was on the knife, it was consistent with um,
The
the
screen.
material that the screen was made out of,
Yeah.
but also they said it also was consistent with a whole lot of other things that it could have cut. Not just that screen, but there was so many more common things that it could have cut, but they didn't bring that out in court. And then the prosecution, um, they like blocked a few things, a few key points of evidence that should have been brought out. Like doing the only clipping the silly string part, just that one short few seconds of it. They clipped it, and they took things like that and they put it all together and they presented their case. Just like the defense can take and only show the part where she's crying at the grave site and not show the silly string, and it's going to sway people to look at it differently. Now, if the prosecution had got the case and they had presented it without the silly string and just her crying, then I think the jury would have seen it differently, just like anyone would have.
Hey,
It's
Andrea
according to
Mom.
how they present it, I think, at the time of the trial. And it's according to how good of a defense attorney you have, to where that they can come back at these people. I mean, the prosecution, and prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, everything. But I just don't think that these defense lawyers were aggressive enough. I just I don't believe that. I just don't think they were aggressive enough. And I think that I put myself in her shoes. I don't think any lawyer could be, aggressive enough for me, because I would be just, I don't know, devastated. I just can't. And if she was so materialistic, and that's what they just kept, you know, cramming down people's throats, that she was materialistic, and that's what she cared about, was money and the materialistic things. Well, if that was so, then don't I mean, I just think that she would have wanted to hang on to whatever materialistic things in her life, and her family, and her house, and her car, and her life in general. She would not take that one small chance that she could be throwing it all away, forever. I just don't believe she was too selfish to throw her life away like that. Let me put it that way. Um, I just can't see her doing it. And they said it was for the money. I mean, um, now, oh, is So Done With It still in here? I mean, if she did it for the insurance money, I mean, that was not even enough insurance to bury the boys.
No, the
That,
insurance money wasn't.
right.
It
It's
wasn't
five
a lot.
thousand.
Yeah,
It was
5,000
5,000
each.
each. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I just. I mean, that's just not
They would have
enough.
used that up in burial.
Right. Right. Well, and I mean, and there had been um, so many things that Darren did that was so shady. The insurance fraud, just over and over, and that was like, and she didn't know about it. That was what's crazy about that. She didn't know about that he was doing that, and their business took off because of the popularity of what he was doing, fixing the circuit boards. But um,
His
then
business
when it
was going down, though.
right when it became, when it wasn't so popular anymore, and they had like um, they made computers differently to where that uh, his job was getting faded out, and so his business wasn't booming anymore.
No.
And I just think that, I don't know. I can see where she would get caught up in it, and I mean in the lifestyle, and get um, and it take off with her, and everyone look at her like that. She's
She
cold
said,
and
she said they lived off of insurance frauds. Her stepdad was in it with him. Her stepdad was in it with him.
oh, the stepdad. Oh yeah, her dad was. Well, I don't know. No, I don't know. I'll have to go back, and I'm rewatching some stuff, but I'm sure So Done With It knows. And okay, so was it the car that he was involved in the insurance fraud, or was it going to be the robbery? Because I know that
Hey, Pakistan.
I just and it just seemed like that he was. I don't know. It just seemed like that he was silently more desperate than what she was. She was more loud, and you know, uh, I can see her telling her husband, "You better fix this, Darren. I mean, you better fix." She. I just think that she thought that he could fix it. Their finances. But So Done With It. So why do you think that she did it? I'm going to. I'm not going to watch. I am going to do both. I say watch, but I mean, like get the documents and stuff like that. But I like to watch like the news when they do the news conferences, and when she is shown on video, because I like to see what her body language is and all that. I mean, I want to see it again. It's been a long time since I did look at that footage, but I just want to go over it again because I'm older now, and I'm wondering if, since I'm older, that I'll take a different look at it. But I just, I just don't believe that. I believe she's innocent. I really do, and I just have that feeling. I don't know.
She was spoiled, loved attention, and didn't want to take care of her kids. I heard that there was people saying that she didn't really take care of the kids a lot. She, like, the boys were out swimming, I mean, out by the pond, and they wasn't watching them. Her, Darren wasn't watching them. They was just letting them run freely and stuff. But I don't know who's.
I
But
think it was. I think that was part of her person. Like I said, she was selfish,
he was
and
young.
like, and she, yeah, young and dumb, and she was. I just think that she was from that small town, spoilt rotten, and she just. I don't know how to put it. I think that she was caught up in it and didn't even dream about anything ever happening. Just that she could just sail through her life, and nothing bad was going to happen. And I think that she was just caught up in her own self, to where that she wasn't. I don't think she paid enough attention to the kids. and I think that she just kind of done her own thing, and the kids kind of followed. But they were good kids, I think, and but um, I just still believe that I believe that she's innocent because, and we are going to get into the trial and the transcripts and all that. I just kind of wanted to get a general idea of where everybody stood, and how everybody thought. Um, and one thing that got me, she did like underage kids, that babysat for her and stuff like that. They said that she would give them alcohol and stuff, and that right there is like, she just seems to be. I don't, it's on the tip of my tongue, the word for a person like that, but they are like wild and just
I
they
don't think
do
she was a
things.
drug addict though, was she? I didn't see nothing that said
No,
anything about her being a drug
she was
addict.
trying. She was well. They
She was
did
taking
say now
Pen
they did say
diet
her and Darren did do cocaine and stuff like that. Now, like um, recreational, but they did have a lot of recreation, But she was on those diet pills. She was worried about losing the baby fat, and
Yeah,
she was on that Fin or what
yeah.
that is, which they said caused people problems down the road. But I think in the end they found out that it really wasn't, as bad, causing things like people were doing things and blaming the diet pills, but um, what she played in the meds, pocket she played in the meds. Yeah, I mean, I think that she drank along with taking the diet pills, along with doing the other drugs, the party drugs that they were doing. I think she probably, they were still, partying it up, and she thought that the money flow would never end. I mean, when it started drying up, she just kind of started wigging out.
She
But
said also her mom got two lawyers who worked with the Texas chapter of the Innocence Project to look at her case, but the national IP is not defending her. So done with it. She said she studied the case for I think
10 years.
years ago, uh,
Yeah.
and was on the Innocence Project or the Innocent or what she say?
Yeah, the Innocence Project. Now, the guy that investigated it, he talked to a few of the lawyers on the Innocence Project, and uh, the last that I heard of that, now I don't have it in writing or anything like that, but he said that they were going to pick her case up. But I mean, I haven't seen any court hearings or anything like that. She's just been filing her appeals, and there is no more appeals. So she's going a different direction, and they're working on it, but I'm not exactly sure who it is that is all involved in working on it. Like the Stephen Avery case, I know that the one lawyer and all her experts are on it. But in this case, um, I don't know if she's hired new lawyers or if she's using a lawyer out of the same office as what the lawyer she had before, or she picked up a new lawyer. I'm not really sure on that. I'm not that far in. Because I kind of wanted just to, I mean, there's a lot of people that didn't know about the case, so I didn't want to like refresh my memory all the way. I just kind of wanted to read it as I go and kind of learn with you guys. But I mean, we're going to show some videos, and we're going to, just go over the transcripts. I think going over the transcripts is what's going to be the interesting part, because the court transcripts is going to tell you in detail everything, and you'd be surprised what is in transcripts when they don't, you know, uh, hide most of it, because you can't make out what's going on if they redact most of it, like they do it in the discovery pages.
Southern
And
lady, you think Avery is guilty? That's interesting.
really, oh wow,
I thought he was innocent too.
I 100%, I am like on that horse that he's innocent.
Yeah.
That will be interesting, Southern Lady, because I really want to hear your opinion. Because um, it's hard to find someone that's objective, that um, that you like. You know what I mean? Like that's somebody that you talk to all the time, like so done with it and stuff like that. I am. I mean, I'm glad that she has as much experience on this case as she does. I mean, because it's you can tell she jumped down that rabbit hole. So, what made you dive that deep into this case? What made you
She
so
thought she
interested
was
in it?
innocent. She thought she was innocent too, she said.
Is that what it was, that you thought she was innocent, so you dug into it?
Hmm.
Wow, that's amazing.
She took the stand and got caught in tons of lies.
Oh, really? On the stand? Wow, I didn't. And there's one guy that broke it down into parts. There's like there's so many parts, it's unreal. But he goes into detail, like I mean, the evidence. You know how the prosecution will present certain amount of evidence, and the defense has a certain amount that they present, and he's got like the reasons behind why that things were kept out and stuff like that. But I mean, and I guess this case, I look at it as a mom. I really do look at it as a mom. I guess I'm. Uh, it's hard to think that a mother could do that to her children. Now look here, so done with it. You're not going to sway me. Now don't do that. I mean, because I start looking at that. I mean, I start getting sad because I just don't want to imagine that. I guess in denial. I guess it's sad. I mean, because I can't imagine. I just can't imagine wanting my kids gone so bad that I would do something like that. It would just be so horrific, you know. But I mean, and what about the okay, postpartum depression? Let's talk about that a little bit. When a woman has postpartum depression, usually in all the cases I've seen that I've read about, you know, and been interested in, the women has made plans and they took out all their kids. And why would she leave one? That makes no sense to me. Um, why wouldn't she make arrangements, you know, when Darren's not going to be around to do it? I mean, I don't get it. Um, I just don't. I mean, I have questions. I mean, a lot of questions, but you know, we'll get into some of the evidence that they presented in court, and we're going to weigh them against, you know, what she says happened. And the 911 call. I mean, did y'all? I mean, the 911 call. Had y'all heard it? Did you hear it? Mama knows best.
Uh-huh. Yep.
What did you think about it?
It sounded legit to me. But the only thing is, whenever the woman said don't touch, you know, she said, "Oh, I done touched something," but she kind of sounded like, you know, she said,
Yeah, her touching. Yeah, her touching that knife. That's the
yeah,
thing
they
that.
could have got the handprints off of it, and
Yeah,
like that kind of
I
like,
wouldn't be. I wouldn't be thinking in that. I wouldn't even care. I mean, at that point,
yeah,
I mean, I would be hysterical. I wouldn't care about if I touched the knife or if I didn't touch the knife. I wouldn't care what was going on. I mean, I would just be out of it. I think. I just don't know. I know she was screaming. She just sound. It sounds legit, but it's Darren, the one that concerns me, because he's on that 911 call too. You can hear him in the background, and he's just like, I don't know. He's like in the ozone.
you
It's
think
like
he, you
it's
think
like
he
he's
was the
not.
one that did it, or he was involved?
I think that he had it done. I mean, I think that it was. I think he was doing another insurance fraud, and I think that he um had somebody come in his house, and I think I think that it was Darlie he was after, that they were after, and the boys happened to get in their way, and he did. I just don't think that he took the proper measures to prevent them from getting hurt, and they got hurt in the process, and she lived. And I think that that was, his mistake. So
She
let's
says,
see.
see, the clock didn't start until that call was made. She had plenty of time to stage the scene. But she's sitting there bleeding. She's sitting there not knowing she's going to live or die. Why would she be trying to stage the scene?
Yeah, how could she stage
Bleeding
this?
out, trying to.
I mean, she cut her. I mean, her throat was cut though. I mean, and I mean, she. I just don't think she had time to do all that. She just. I mean, it was unless she worked on it all evening after she went downstairs, and I don't know. I mean, okay, so what would y'all say her motive was? I mean, that's what I'm wanting to know. That's what I want other people's opinion. I want to know what y'all think her motive was. She was flipping out at that time. No, well, it was. Well, they said it was superficial, but in reality, it it scratched the surface of that main artery, and when you get that close to scratch it, that is life threatening. And the prosecution presented it like it was superficial. Just like one side can say it's superficial and the other side can say it's not. But it's scratched the surface of that artery. I mean, can you imagine what? I mean, just oh my God, just a teeny little bit more pressure, and I mean, she would be dead. She'd have bled out. I know, Pocket Sand. You're right. There's not, but there. If you stage a scene and do all that, then you have to have something that's motivating you into doing something like this, especially a mother. Like every mother that has done this. There was the lady that had the postpartum depression really bad, and she needed help, and she begged and pleaded for help all along, and she begged and begged, tried to get her some help, and her husband just wasn't paying attention, and she killed all five of her kids. Well, then there's the Diane Downs. Okay, she did it, and why did she do it? For she wanted, you know, the men that she was dating they didn't like it that she come with all the baggage of kids. And then the other girl did it because um, she was chasing a man that didn't want, the kids. So it's like they had their motives behind it anyway. I mean, they just don't do it for nothing, except for that one lady that, postpartum depression, and she did it for a reason, but I don't think she knows what that reason was. But she didn't understand the mental illness that she was going through. You know, yeah. Well, no, Diane Downs loved attention. Um, so done with it. She liked attention uh, differently than Darlie. I mean, it was like she was just honey. She was so desperate for a man to uh, love her and stay with her. I mean, she just was looking for a man, just desperately looking for a man, and she would have done anything to have kept one. And Darlie wasn't that desperate. Well, yet I guess you could say, but Diane just couldn't find a man that wanted to stay with her, and their excuse would be the kids. A lot of their excuses would be the kids, the reason that they didn't want to be with her. But
Susan Smith was released. I didn't know that.
well, she got out on parole.
She said Susan Smith was released and she shouldn't have never got out.
No, never. That was crazy. I mean, that takes a different. I mean, okay, she's those kids' mother, and she sat there and watched those kids. I mean, go underneath that water. I mean, who could? I'm sorry, but who could do something like that? Who could do this? I mean, this right here, and I don't know. Why would you pick that method? So done with it. Why do you think that she picked um the violence the knives and the violence. Uh, why didn't she choose a different way? You know, like the one mother drowning and stuff. Why wouldn't she? Why did she choose such a close and personal way of doing it? I'm the one that's got all the questions and they're going to answer. I mean, so done with it knows. Yeah, I wish she would come up on panel. I mean, because she does know a lot about this case. Was you really, I mean, did it really, when you saw for yourself that she was guilty, I mean, for you to think that she was guilty, did it disappoint you? I mean, did it upset you that you saw she was guilty? Yeah, Andrea Yates is the one in Andrea
She's the one that
Yates.
drowned her kids, wasn't it?
Yeah, Susan Smith is the one that uh, her kids her kids went in the car under the
In the
water.
water, yeah.
Yeah, and she wa I mean, it took a long time. In court they timed it, and it was like forever before the car went under, submerged underneath the water. And they said that she had so much time, to rethink things and to go get those kids out. She just sat there and watched it, and she just had this. There was something about that woman that was just so bizarre. I mean, she used to make the hair on my arm stand up because she just gave me that weird feeling when she was at that press conference. I mean, I was like, she did something. She did something. I mean, it was just all over me. I just knew she did something because it was just creepy. She just gave me the creeps. Oh, it was horrible. And do y'all ever think, um, hey, Broken, someone told me that Darlie's sister just started a TikTok. You may want to ask her some questions. Oh, cool. Oh, thank you, Angela. She left the TikTok thing for us. Okay. Yeah, we could ask her some questions. Uh, there's she comes on that panel sometimes of that one guy that covers her. I mean, he goes and visits her in prison, and uh, he is like her number one fan. I mean, like he really believes in her. And like I said, I had my questions, but I believe she's innocent. But I still have questions about the case. I mean, loads of questions. I mean, because even listening to the trial and everything like that, and even me reading transcripts, sometimes um, it's just not enough for me. I mean, uh, if you take the emotion out of it and all that, I have to add that emotion in there because you have to add it all in there to get the answers because and sometimes you will never find the answers even if someone confessed in that if they didn't answer all your questions you still have them like the Watts case.
Yeah. That's a good one. I'd like to talk about one day.
What
Watts case.
oh my god you're wanting to go back to that did you see that people are going back to the Watts case?
Yeah.
Yes,
Says I want to know whose fingerprints are on the table.
right. I want to know hi Blues Girls, how are you?
Hey, loose girl.
Right. I know you have to be objective, but I think that that's my whole problem with this case is I have not been able to separate myself from the mom thing. I have never. I don't. I've looked at cases where moms have done this, but I've never looked at one where the mom was screaming she's innocent. Except the dying downs, and I knew she was guilty. I mean, I just knew. But um,
The
this
new
one,
DNA came back in December. Who was the DNA from?
Yeah, there was DNA in there that was not. So they did test the DNA. See that they were banking on that DNA. I think that was one of um, something that they were hoping
Hey,
that
Nikki X.
would help her. Hey, Nikki X, how are you? I just can't wait to get. I mean, like I read the like a third of the transcripts today, and
It showed nothing new, she said. Damn.
no, it just the guy just it. It's not really new evidence. He says that it's stuff that they overlooked is what it is, and it is stuff they overlooked that people weren't paying attention to. Um, and I had so many questions, and he answered some of my questions for me. Uh, but I thought I only had like 3 or 4 more questions that I needed answered. But now that I'm sitting here and you're making me doubt it, I think that my questions went way up to where that I've got so many questions for you. I don't know. I want to know what other people's opinions are because you just don't hear very many people's opinions about what they thought that her motive was or how that a mom could do something like this, that violent. And those were her babies. I mean,
She said
and
they
why?
didn't overlook it. Back then, they couldn't analyze a partial print.
Yeah, and now they can. Yeah, and yeah. Well, did they say anything about this print? I mean, have they said anything about it? And the blood evidence. Uh, what they were saying about the blood evidence, and they said it looked like someone tried to clean up. Well, I know that there was so much chaos in the house that day, and they were people running back and the getting the towels because there were wet towels around the boys and stuff. So I don't rely on that and that wine glass and the vacuum cleaner. That can be all dismissed. I think because you never know what takes place in a scene like that. Because they said there was blood everywhere, and I can just imagine the partial print matched Darlie, so it didn't really. So I mean, so that partial print was on the coffee table, and they were thinking it was someone else's. So now that it comes back as Darlie's, um, so what does that mean? Like, means nothing, doesn't it? Because her prints could be everywhere. And they said that her jewelry was out there if it was a robbery. But if the boys got in the way and it went wrong, then
In a minute.
I mean, if they were going to stage it to look like a robbery, and it just went awry. That's what it looks like to me. That there was a plan put in place, and it went wrong, very wrong, and that was the end result. And I think that's why that Darren didn't just run down the stairs, and he was just too calm for me. He was just a very, I don't know what for kind of person. I mean, it just did not seem like that he was uh, that broken up over it. I just, I, you know, Blues Girls, I guess you're right. I mean, the mom part, I just can't separate myself from that. I mean, I look at it from that point of view, and I guess that's so strange because I never even looked at it myself like that. But now that we're talking with y'all, I can see that I'm not very objective because I'm a mom, and there is nothing that could make me do that to my child. I mean, I'm just nothing. I would die first. I'd kill myself first. I mean, I would just off myself if I had those thoughts.
Yep,
I just
me
would.
too.
I would. I mean, that if I ever thought of harming um, one hair on any of my kids, I would just I would know something was wrong, and I would take myself out, so that there would be no chance of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I guess I don't understand the mind frame of people that think that, um, like how a mom could think that her living and breathing was more than important than her children living and breathing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Blues Girl, I think the same thing when I hear that song all the time.
what?
Hungry Like the Wolf. I think of
Oh
that
my
movie every time.
God.
Farrah Fawcett's movie. Uh,
Yes,
that pops in my head where she shot her three kids, or was it three of them? Wasn't
yes, yeah. Because that was playing. She was
it?
playing
She was
that song,
playing that
wasn't she?
song whenever in the movie. It makes me think of that every time I see it too. I heard that she said I read Susan Smith has been acting up in jail, sleeping with guards and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, they said that she started that right off the bat. And when she was first arrested and put in, like they put them in the county or whatever, the jail, just to hold them till trial. They said that she was doing that there. That she was the. It was horrific. They just she looks like a plain Jane, but they said that she might as well, just. I mean, they said that she was one of the world's worst of wanting men. She wanted men really bad, and yeah, they made a big deal out of that, of exposing her for sleeping with guards. And some of the guards, there has been a few guards that got in trouble because of her, not because of her, because of their actions too. I'm just saying that, you know, but that's something that you only see on television. That kind of behavior.
Oh, I remember that, Betty, when Diana said I couldn't tie my shoes for a month. It made me so angry.
That, oh my God, the way that that woman acted about, oh my God, just the way she acted. And she was not concerned about her kids' injuries. She really didn't care of, of what it did to her children, or, the one that was able to um, tell them who did it. Um,
Damn.
she was just not concerned. I mean, she didn't even care about their injuries, or the damage that that baby was going to go through for the rest
Yeah.
of her life, and she just didn't care.
Blues Girl
She,
said, so done with it. Why do you think she only killed two and did not wait to do all three? Not
yeah,
planned, last minute thought, or
that's what I want to know. I asked her before. I don't know if she answered, because she's been investigating this so long. I just thought you would have the best answer. He Darlie killed in a rage.
rage, not planned. The baby was upstairs with Darren. I knew
But
the baby was upstairs.
what would make her go into a rage though? I mean, because Darren said that she was fine when she went downstairs with the boys. I mean, and what would make her do that? I just see that's where that I can't separate myself. I think is when you ask questions like that. I mean, it's just her and the boys, and I mean, what could they do to make her go into that kind of rage? Because she would have to go in the kitchen and get the knife. I mean, she'd have to stage the scene. I mean, I just, I don't know.
And she'd had to beat herself up nearly just to get all them damn bruises and shit all over.
I mean, those bruises are just horrific. They are horrific, and there was blood. I mean, like where they said that she, leaned over the sink and cut her throat. Well, there was blood where she was laying on the couch, and she said that her throat was cut. There was blood there. I mean, where she would have been laying.
She said a lot happened that
I
weekend
know,
that
Blues
night.
Girls.
So I guess she had a lot
A
going on.
lot happened that week. Oh, really? So, what? I mean, like they were arguing. I mean, like, because I know they argued a lot over money, and I
Oh,
know
her
she went
sister
through.
too, wasn't it?
What about her sister,
Didn't he flirt with her sister or something? Or the
Darren?
Yeah.
I don't know about
There
that.
was a movie in the 80s that showed a woman bruising her arms that way, slamming them in a cabinet. I think she did that.
Really? I mean, okay, I don't know. I just
Wow.
can't, I guess I can't put myself in that same mind frame because I sit here and look at it and
Yes, I'm the sister. I thought so.
you want, okay, you wanted your two boys dead so bad that you were willing to go to that much violence to get rid of them and then uh, stage the crime scene and then cut your own throat. That would take some balls.
Yep.
And uh, and then stage the scene, and then I just don't get it, I guess. And then slam your arms in cabinets. I mean, that's painful. I mean, you know how much that would take some balls too.
Yeah, that's true. You're not going to put yourself in that mind frame because
Right.
you're not like her.
Right. So I can't see it the way she
No.
saw it, I guess. And that's a lot of my confusion. I try to always look, you always say, walk a mile in their shoes, that song. Um, and you try to put yourself in different people's shoes so that you understand where their feelings are coming from. And situations like this, I mean, I guess that's why I like true crime is because I am just so fascinated with the why, and what could make a person do something so horrendous
I
is to
couldn't cut
think,
myself either, Blues Girl. I'm too chicken. I wouldn't want to do that superficial, or I mean, that
yeah,
extravagant, that kind of cut across my neck. I just could not do
and
it.
your neck. I mean, come on. Oh my God. I mean, I would, I don't know. I wouldn't even think about bleeding at all. I mean,
I
okay,
could have bruised myself up. I think I could do that, but not cutting
I don't
myself
know.
across the neck
Well,
like that.
I could bruise myself up. All I have to do is, like, walk around the house a little bit and fall down, because I bruise so easy now. But um, I don't know. Used to.
Well, there she goes. She must have touched some button on her phone. I couldn't have dared cut myself like that. I could have probably bruised up my arms like that if I had to, if in order to get out of something probably. But I could not have cut my neck like that. There's no way because I'd not known how deep to cut or you know how did she wouldn't have known how deep she could cut right there. You think she would have hurt herself? She said, "Molly, it was me." Um, there was a local girl who cut her own neck and bruised up herself trying to frame her boyfriend. Wow, these people are batshit crazy around here. Oh, let me drop her a link. She probably needs it now after we've been off for a minute. Uh, she said I knocked myself off. Of course, I dropped you a link, girl. Uh, okay. Um, that case though, it's really interesting to me. I like watching, especially when the women do something like that. I think those cases are interesting because I just can't imagine a woman doing anything like that to her kids because I couldn't do it. I I like to read the transcripts now. I am really curious. Oh, here she comes. Yikes! People are freaking nuts, man. Major yikes. Molly, that community is nuts too. So y'all,
Right.
okay. Broken? What did you do? You broken your phone?
I'm broken. I'm
Just
broken.
for
See,
people,
I
dude.
am
Just
really
for
broken
people.
now because
Great.
I'm sitting here going over my thoughts and everything about this case, and I'm just like, well, what if, what if, and what if? um, uh, so done with this got me questioning a bunch of things, but and I didn't realize that I had my emotions in it. I really didn't. I thought that I had myself separated, but I really am not. I mean, like, uh, I mean, I see I see, like what you said, like the girl beat herself up to frame the boyfriend, and
Yeah.
stuff. When you're young and you're wild, I mean, I can see stupid girls doing stupid, ignorant things like that, hurting themselves over. I mean, that's just dumb. They're ate up with dumb. But after you've had children and stuff, that makes you different. I mean, you just, I don't know. I guess I just can't separate the two. I just can't. I have so many questions. I mean, I just, the why, I just don't understand the motive and all those questions have to be answered before. I mean, I can say she's guilty because there's always that little what if she's not, you know. And then I sit back and say, what if she is guilty? That is horrific if she is, because
If she is
I didn't
guilty, she's in the right place.
I never thought of it like that, because the injuries on those babies uh, were so horrific that I never wanted to imagine that a mother could do that. So I think that's what has, swayed me a little bit. So I'm so glad that So Done With It come in here, because I mean, it does give me other things to look into, because now I really want to go and look at some things. But I don't know. Just, I mean, was it postpartum? I mean, was it greed? I mean, what? I mean, did she just want rid of them because they cramped her lifestyle? Uh, there's so many things that it could be.
Crazy people usually don't have a specific
Right.
motive. That's why you don't have to prove motive in court.
So you think that she was just crazy?
Yep. Crazy as a bat.
Wow. Well, see, now isn't there? Now I might be wrong, guys, but now isn't there specific cases or things that they do have to prove motive? I mean, they have to have the motive, but I don't. I'm drawing a blank. Um, but it's here recently that I talked to someone about this, and isn't there? They don't have to prove their motive. The defense has to prove someone else's motive, right? Is that the way it goes? Oh, Blues Girls, look at this now. Okay.
She said, "Well, I've worked for lawyers my whole life, and I have seen people do some pretty damn stupid things. I've never really, I am never really shocked."
Well,
And then So Dunn said, "It. I think she was selfish and wanted everyone's attention. She sure did get attention. Then she got a lot of attention.
but I mean, God, to give up everything that she valued in her world around her
I
at
just
that
couldn't
time,
imagine taking your son's life
I just can't.
and nearly killing yourself."
I can't imagine any mother being that selfish. But I mean, I've seen heartless mothers before, and nothing does shock me except the
The heartless people I've seen is here on YouTube.
the. I know, right? Yeah. I mean, you know what? I mean, you know, I guess I say that nothing would shock me because of all the cases that I've seen and everything, and nothing even phases me. And my friends think that I'm sick. They think something's wrong with me because uh, I see, the a news footage of somebody, and they're just like with their mouths hanging open, and I'm just like, oh yeah, another day, and they're just like, that don't bother you, and I'm like, well, yeah, it bothers me, but you just don't think about it like that. I don't think about it like that anymore, but I guess I do think about it um emotionally, because I'm really having a problem with this. um, and I don't want to. I guess denial. I don't want to think that people can be that cruel and that oh, where they think that they have the right to take someone else's life. See, that's my deal with the murder cases and all that. What gives any one person the mind frame to think that they have the right to snuff out someone's life? And they know how precious it is because they're living themselves. What makes them have get that inside of them that makes them think that it's okay to take someone else's life? Because, like the death penalty, no matter what the laws are and stuff like that, that person that flips that switch or pushes that, I mean, how what makes how do they deal with it? How do they justify killing someone? Aren't they scared they're going to kill someone that's innocent? I
I
mean,
know that would be me. I would like if I wasn't 100% sure. Well, not 100%, but not 90 something percent sure. I wouldn't want to do that.
I would have to be, oh, I would have to be 10 trillion, I would have to be really for sure, I would have to see the pictures of them doing it myself.
Shot of Poison said, "What I don't get is people that get their children taken away by diseases and things, and then these people out here killing their kids. That pisses me off so bad. That does me too. There's a lot of
When it,
people that can't even have children and that want
right,
children, and you
right.
got these out here that have all these children, and then they kill them or leave them
They don't
out
care about them.
somewhere or something."
And I've had to deal with that my whole life. My mom, I was adopted and she wasn't able to have kids. And she would get triggered very quickly of women that didn't take care of their kids and um, they didn't keep their kids clean. I mean, my mom was very picky about um, how she took care of us and how, and she was very judgmental, I guess, about how other women took care of their kids. And she looked at it differently because she wasn't able to have kids, and I know it bothered her. Um, and she used to get so angry because we had family members and stuff that did not take care of their kids,
I
and
would too.
it would just get her so angry because she said, here's people out there that would love to have a dozen kids and they can't.
Did you see
And
that
these
case
people,
with that one girl that's 19? I think she's 19 that just had that baby in the hospital and
I
threw the
know, and
baby in the garbage can and
put it in
went
the
right back
garbage
to the
can.
room and act like nothing. I mean,
Yes. Well,
and the
Southern
baby
lady,
died.
they got me doubting myself and they got me doubting, uh, why that I was looking at it like I was. But I just never, I don't know, I never looked at it from this point of view, I guess. I've looked at it, like I sat on the fence for a long time. I thought she was guilty at first because I didn't pay attention. Oh, it's another,
If you don't
it's
know
some,
everything, you
yeah,
might think
another
you're
messed
guilty
up
if you don't know
person.
everything.
Yeah, another messed up person, that just killed her kids, and then I didn't pay attention, and then I started paying attention to it because I just left that town like 3 months before and started getting into it, and to think that, and I sat on the fence for a while because of the evidence, the, when they said that she cut her throat over the sink, there was a cleanup, and the vacuum cleaner, the wine glass, the screen, all that stuff. I had questions about all that, but I still wanted to believe she was innocent. And so, as soon as I they that could be explained to me, I guess, then I hopped off the fence because I think that's just what I was waiting for. Uh, is for someone to say, yeah, she is innocent,
Yeah.
and for somebody else to believe in her. But maybe she could be. I mean, gosh, I can't believe this. See, y'all put me on the spot now. Okay, Betty.
Now you know.
Now I know. Y'all better not do this on the Avery case if I ever present that Avery
Southern lady
case.
said the Stephen Avery is guilty.
I will croak. Betty believes that too. Now, y'all and it has to be two people that I would really listen to. I mean, and so done with it. I know covered this case like inside and out, and for her to come in and and start, oh my gosh.
Nikki X said, back in the day in the city I lived, a 16-year-old girl killed her mom, rolled her up in a carpet, and went to McDonald's and had dinner.
Oh my
That's a
god.
16-year-old.
Oh,
So done with it said more money has been spent on DNA analysis for this case than any other. Oh, dang. Broken. I
why
don't
is
know
that?
much of anything about it. Did you watch the trial? Yeah, I watched. I watched it. Southern Lady.
What?
Nikki X says she thinks he's innocent, but who knows?
Yeah,
Stephen
I
Avery.
watched the trial. It's been just so.
That case right there. I think he's innocent. He was
I
about to
know he. I
get
know
all
in
the
my.
money, and why would he
I
want to
know
do
he's
something to go
innocent.
back in there? It
I
just
know he's innocent.
he was supposed to get all that money back and stuff from them
Yeah.
locking him up for being innocent over
Well,
something else.
there is no way that that man is guilty. No
No,
way. And that 16-year-old helped him. And there's no blood in that garage or any in the bedroom. There's none of her DNA in the bedroom. There's just no way that man is guilty, because like why would they give up what they
they
like?
set him up because they want
Right.
they was mad 'cause he got all that money.
Well, no, if he got all that money, I mean, you have to understand it was not only the money, he was gonna take their jobs, their careers, he was gonna ruin them. That's what the difference is. Yeah, Nikki, that's what it doesn't make sense.
She said,
And
I
you know what?
really wanted Darlie to be innocent. I was fighting online with people and calling Texas senators. I believed her
Oh,
mom, but the more I dug, the more guilty she became. Oh, so done with it.
oh, that's sad.
You can never go with heart, only facts. Yeah. But
I know, and
it's not
I
the heart
look at
thing for Stephen
but
Avery though.
but see, look at this. I mean, I was looking at facts, and my heart swayed. I can see. I'm starting to think that my heart might have swayed the facts. Um, the narrative swung the narrative. Uh,
Well, you was easily persuaded then, girl.
no, I'm not. Wasn't I'm not easily because I look at the negative part of everybody first. I always look at the negative, and if I can't like the negative part of you, then I can't like you. And everybody gets on to me, my friends and everything, because I'm negative Nelly. I don't believe in nobody or nothing. I don't trust anybody. I'm just like, oh yeah, right, whatever. I'm just like that. And then when these fake darn people that will wait you out, and they will fake who they are for a long period of time, and you start to relax, and you think, okay, well, they're okay then. And as soon as I do that, I swear to God, I get sideswiped. I mean, it's just like YouTube has taught me a big lesson in who to trust and who not to trust. I mean, you just can't.
You don't trust
You
nobody on here.
can't
Here.
trust nobody on here. I
Hell
mean,
no.
I mean,
I trust a few people on here.
I'm
That's
not
about
surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised by anything anybody does on here, and that, just like I was in the true crime before, and uh, I thought that it was the true crime that made me not look at everybody in a negative light first. And everybody used to get on to me so bad, and say, "You are so negative. You're just so negative." And I'm like, "Okay, I look into true crime. That's probably what makes me negative. But maybe it's, I don't know, people in general, especially when you get into a big platform like we are on, and there's so many cases. Have you noticed how the cases are increasing, and the motives behind it? Used to be cut and dry, and usually the murderer would just come right out and say, "This is why I did it, and this is my reason behind it," and they just didn't care. And nowadays, there's a mystery behind it, and they leave it that way. They don't tell the truth. I mean, it's
YouTube
like,
is so cutthroat. Nikki X said.
it is. It
Yep.
is cutthroat.
Yep.
And it's like, I don't understand YouTube at all. I don't
Me
understand the
neither.
people on it
They don't go by
here.
facts on YouTube. Facts is nothing on YouTube.
And
Nope.
and that and if they even if they're looking at the facts, they take the facts and they twist it to make it
Yep.
into whatever they want it to be,
Yep.
not what reality is. They do not look at how reality really is, and they make you out to be the bad person no matter what you do. I mean, you
Right.
could stand on your head for them, 24/7, and it wouldn't be good enough. Uh, they are always going to take someone that they see uh, that they can use as collateral damage for whatever ulterior motive they have, and they're going to use that person forever what they want, and they're going to lay down at night and sleep like a baby. I guarantee these people on here that do this stuff, they are sleeping like babies every night.
Yep.
And and I was listening to a little bit of one of the
You can
creators.
show the
Her,
facts and show the proof, and it's still they twist it to their
right,
narrative.
right. And there's people that could be. I mean, I was really shocked at just how um,
It's right, Nikki X. There's
people
not enough
are.
money to be made on here for people to backstab so much.
There's
You can't sell
not,
your morals for a 1999 super chat. Not worth it,
right.
right? That's right.
They will sell their morals for. I mean, for to have 150 people in their chat one night,
Yep. Yep.
you know, or to be someone's hero for a week.
Yep.
And then I can't even keep up with who's friends anymore. I mean, they're not friends,
Flip
but
flopping going on.
I
A lot
don't,
of
I
flip
just
flop.
can't keep up with it. I'm asking MKB, well, I heard this person talking about, so and so, are they friends again? It's like, I don't know who's with who and what is going on. So, I mean, we try to stay out of people's business, and people say that we don't, that we just sit over here and we dig into people's business, and that's all our content is. And that's just not so. I mean, it's just really not so about us. It really isn't. I mean, I'm very disappointed at, uh, I mean, we slap people right in the face with the facts, and people were present when the things took place. And I said, you were here, you know what took place. And they just, they were like, they talked to me like I was crazy. I said, well, maybe I am, but I know what happened. Well, I mean, I know what happened. I mean, I know I was here, and
Yeah.
I know in my heart how I feel and my motive behind anything. There was no motive. I don't have any motives like that. I don't think that way. And for them to take and call me names and disgusting names and say the most horrific things about me, it's hurtful, but it also toughens me up more. And
You're right, Nikki.
I'm going to leave YouTube before I let them turn me into who they are.
Yeah, I sure don't want to be like none of these people are on here.
Yeah.
I
And
got a big heart, and I've always had a big heart for people. And on here, you can it's they don't care for nobody. They don't. It's all about themselves. They don't care if they hurt anybody. They
they
go
don't
real
even,
life on people. They dig into people's past. We don't come on here for everybody to dig into our lives or our past. We come on here as an outlet to
well,
talk to
they,
people, to make friends, to have somebody to talk to from day to day, not sit here and dig into our lives and try to find out everything you can and
and
come out here and
they
try to hurt
don't, I mean, the
somebody.
thing about it is that's what, okay, we're not secretive. We are an open book, though. And that is what is so scary, that my friends feel like that where I went wrong is by uh, not being fake like they are. They're like, YouTube is, that's what's not reality. Those people are not real. None of them are presenting themselves as they are. And you come on there and your family's in the background, you tell your business, you tell this, and I do. But I'm not ashamed of it. I don't care. I mean, that's what I came on here for, is to share my life with, you guys, and make friends with people. And how do you do that if you aren't yourself?
I
If
try
you're
to be
not,
myself. I don't come on here and I don't tell lies
yeah,
like a lot of these people do.
yeah, and
You
you're
can
not
show
telling.
them facts and show the truth, and it still doesn't matter. It don't matter if you got it in black and white. It doesn't matter.
Well,
They're
I mean,
do
well,
whatever they
you,
can to hurt
you
you.
fake that because they've showed us that they can fake receipts. You can fake the facts because they've proven it. Because they do it on a daily basis. I mean, I'm shocked. I
So,
really am.
lady,
I
I'm
mean,
sorry that happened to you. I hate
what?
that. She said that me either NC beat me up because I spoke in jurors chat the other day. Good Lord, I haven't been there in probably 2 months.
What?
I
Who
unsubbed from NC. I don't like being policed and called out for being nice.
who
You
was
shouldn't
that?
have to be. You shouldn't have to be. I mean, that's not right.
Who said
Southern
that?
lady,
I'm sorry.
Southern lady.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But I don't
Yeah,
blame you.
I
I don't
heard
blame
that.
you a bit.
But you
You
know
should be
what,
able to go
Southern
where you
lady?
want to go.
When she did that, I just giggled, and I mean, because um, I said, "Well,
But you heard it.
yeah," and
I didn't hear
I said, "Well, that's their Southern lady getting, she's getting, uh, she's caught somebody's attention, and
it.
it's just you being you is what caught the attention of someone else to where they called you out to make you feel and look bad, and
Yeah.
they mainly want you to feel bad about yourself. They want you to feel what um, they want you to feel what they're feeling by you being there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
You should be
and
able to go where you want to go, though. That's
right,
what I don't
right,
care, and my people, I don't care if y'all, if I have differences with somebody else and my people are in
right,
somebody else's chat. I don't care. I mean, y'all may like somebody that I don't like, or I may like somebody y'all don't like.
right.
It
And
shouldn't
we're
hurt our
learning. I
friendship,
mean,
though.
we are learning because and it's hard sometimes because MKB, she has made peace with people um
That she
that
may
I
not
can't
like,
stand.
but and
I
then
can't stand them, and I'm being truthful, and she
and
knows it. And but I love her. I mean, that it's not
we
going to
still have a
change
good friendship,
our friendship. We have
Yeah,
a good friendship, and just because she goes and sits over with something. Now, if she was up on panel dogging me and
that'd be a different story. I
telling
wouldn't
me
do
how much
that.
she hated me, and you know, um, but just
I
like
wouldn't be a friend if I did that.
right, and them just like them saying that she got up on my panel and was backstabbing me and saying ugly things about me. No, she wasn't. She's mad, and I
Yeah,
get it. And but she would allow me to be mad too and say
yeah.
things. But we're not gonna. I don't. We don't even question our friendship because there's no question.
You got the
Uh,
perfect relationship, something's going to be wrong. Something's got to be
right,
wrong if you got the
right.
perfect relationship.
And that
There's no
love
way.
bomb. I mean, they get in there and they get up on panels with each other and they just love bomb each other and they agree with everything each other says, and they just everything is they're perfect people. To hear them say it on, even while they're friends. I mean, on other people's panels, they just, oh, I just love them to pieces, and oh, they're just my buddy, and no, it's not always perfect. It's not ever going to always be perfect. You know, there's always, I mean, every day me and MKB disagree about something, but it doesn't affect anything to do with our friendship. I mean,
That's
it's
right.
like that's what makes us us, and it's either we love each other enough to tolerate it, or if our behavior is so selfish and non-tolerable, then we walk away. But you, there's just no. I mean,
But this going
there's
real life stuff that these people are
yeah,
doing
yeah.
is wrong. You
The
know,
selfishness.
I don't
I
come
just
on here to get I don't come on here to talk about my past or
right.
or my situation. I may not have the best past that record there is, but that don't
But
mean that I'm a different person now. I'm different
but
than I
you
was
wanted
back then.
to. You wanted to come on here and talk about it. You wanted to come on
Oh
here and
yeah,
talk
of course,
about
but people look
it.
at the way they
Yeah,
react.
I mean, you want to be open with people and tell them everything and be honest and be that person. But uh,
I know my past ain't
you
perfect, but
can't because
I
I
can't go back
mean
and change that.
well, these people will take it if you feel like that these people would take it and destroy you with it, because other people will follow suit and hate you because of a mistake you made. You know, I mean, look at the people that hate us right now, and for what?
For
I'm sorry, but
us trying to be good to somebody. That was all it
well,
was. I wasn't trying to
and
hurt nobody.
then they make fun of us for saying that we made we had live after live after live dragging all these people, and they're just up there defending themselves against us, in which they're just responding to our ugly behavior. And we're like, what ozone layer did these people come from? Because they are just, I would be scared that I would, God would strike me dead. I mean, I would be just scared to death of it, because I could never use anybody for, I don't know what they're trying to gain, but
Who
I
goes
just,
out and pulls up records of people's past? I mean, why does people go on here and try to pull up people's past to hurt them with? It's pathetic.
right.
I mean,
Yeah, I
seriously.
mean, and if they would just, you know, if they were just different people, if their behavior was different, then they would know about people's past. They wouldn't have to dig it up, because people would tell them what mistakes they made. They would tell them their secrets. But
I know
they
my past ain't great and I
but
made
people want to
mistakes,
keep it a
but
secret, because uh one little bitty tiny uh scratch in your past, and they can take it and destroy you with it. And
I know, and my
people think
past
that you are
is in
supposed to
my
be
past.
perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, I don't have a pretty past. I've been through a lot of things in my life, and I've done things in my life that I don't agree with, and I'm not happy with. But that I didn't come on here for y'all to judge me for my past. I come on here to find friends and be friends with people, and and have relationships with people, like good
Mm.
friendships. And I
And
enjoy
you would know about her past. I mean, eventually, because she'll tell you. If you start being
close
friends.
stuff. Yeah,
I mean, I just don't get that. And the thing about it is, I'm not, I'm a person now. I might be a weirdo, but I am a person that, uh, I think my past is funny. I think that what I did, how wild I was, and I was a wild child, and I did the most stupidest things ever. But you know what? I wouldn't go back and change it for nothing in the world, because I had a blast doing it, and I'm not going to change any of it, because that's who made
now, if I
me
could go
what I
back and
am.
change my past, I would go back and change it. But I can't. The only thing I could do is move forward and make a better person out of myself. I used to be addicted to pain pills, and nobody knows that because you don't get on here and tell your story. Because people try to use that and hurt you, which I'm proud of myself now. I've been
Well,
clean for 2 years now. I have not had anything in 2 years, and I'm really proud of myself because I've come a long way. I mean, life is tough sometimes.
and I don't look at her like that. I mean, like, she tells me, she goes, she has to remind me. I'm like, because she is so innocent. I mean, she really, she is has such a big heart. She's so genuine that I, compared to me, this is like an angel with, wings that God gave her 50 times. I mean, and I just giggle, when she's like, "Oh, yeah, I used to do this," and I'm like, it just does not seem like she did at all. And her behaviors, like when she had surgery, she didn't, the pain pills, you couldn't even tell it attempted her any. She just didn't take them after her surgery, you know, and she just didn't. And the reason, she knew the reason behind it, that it wasn't a big deal, and she just didn't take them, and she was strong, and she just moved on. And that's what kind of person it takes to be in recovery and stay in recovery. And I just always, I mean, I laugh about, things that I did. And, yeah, I went to jail a few times. I went to jail for domestic violence. They hit me first, and then I finished it, because there ain't nobody, I'm not going to stand around and let anybody beat on me. There ain't no way in hell. I can't even see myself doing that. I mean, and none of my family or anybody could ever see me doing that. And my family laughs about me, my past too. Me being the black sheep because my dad was a preacher, but I was just such an abrasive. Um, I was different, but I mean, I have a heart of gold. I mean, I still have feelings, and I get my feelings hurt. But when those feelings get hurt, I get mad. I really get mad. It does. It really turns me inside out. And I had to get control of my temper for there for a while because I was out of control with it. Because I was angry because I felt like I was hurt all the time. I went through this thing with my son and with losing my grandson and stuff like that and I turned bitter, just a bitter old bag. And
And even all this stuff that's been going on here lately is crazy. I mean, so
right,
many people fighting, so many people
right,
going after us for simply
right,
just
and the
disagreeing with
people
something
that
we did. I mean,
and
if
the
I did
people that
something wrong, I would apologize. If I felt that I'd done something wrong, I
right,
would apologize. And if I did
right,
make anybody feel uncomfortable, I do
right.
apologize. I am that way. I
And
will
if I was a
apologize
bad friend to anyone, I would be the first one up there, begging them to forgive me. And,
because I didn't want to make
I would
anybody
fix it.
feel
I would do
uncomfortable. I'm just
whatever
not
it
like
took to
that.
fix it.
I don't like to make anybody feel uncomfortable. I don't like to hurt anybody.
Right,
And if I did, I definitely would.
right,
I would apologize. I feel really bad, and if I did hurt somebody, I apologize. But
right,
I really, my intentions was not to try to hurt nobody. I was trying to help a friend out. That's
right.
what I seriously was trying
And
to do. Was
I
simply
just,
help a friend.
I just don't understand um, why. I mean, all these people that talked about us, they, asked for money for certain things, and some of them as right that week. I mean, they did before we even thought about it, but we didn't do it
We
for
weren't even asking
ourselves.
for ourselves. I
I
mean,
mean, we
we were
didn't
sitting
do
there
it for
trying to help
ourselves.
somebody
I
else.
never,
And Andrea never asked for any help. We just
no,
thought we would drop her PayPal to help her because any like
right,
if anybody always would
in
come
our
in here and
community,
say anybody in our community come in here and say that they needed help, I would drop their link. Anybody's. That's just
you
the way
know,
I am. I'm
yeah,
gonna try to help anybody that's in need. That's the person I am. So don't take
um,
it
yeah,
that serious. Like it's just because
right,
it was Andrea. I would have dropped it for Nikki. I would have dropped it for Southern Lady. I would have dropped
right,
Blues Girls link. I'd have dropped
right.
anybody's PayPal link if they needed help.
We would have done that for anybody that's,
Anybody.
I mean, we would have.
And
And
I
we try
never
to
was
look at,
trying to attack him. If
and,
he
and
felt like I was trying to attack him, I apologize. But that was not what we were doing. We were just simply trying to get an
she was just being loud because she was frustrated because, I mean, she didn't know what was going on because we were confused because he had us confused because to us, I mean, he was just on our panel the night before, but they don't mention that. And they said that she tried to come up on our panel so that she could discuss it like grown adults, and we blocked her. That's not true.
oh
She did
who.
not try to. Lonnie did not try to come up on our panel to try
I'd
to
never seen her
discuss
try to come
this.
up on the panel. I'd never seen
Never.
her
If
chat or
she
nothing.
did, I would have gladly discussed it with her. But I mean, if someone's going to take and tell a bold faced lie on me, then there's a problem there, and I'm going to address it. And you can tell the truth, and you can beat me over the head with the truth all you want, and I will sit back and let you do it. But you start lying on me, and that's when that I'm gonna come after you. I'm going to um, correct it because it's not fair, And they threaten us and expect us to sit over here and shut our mouths so that they can continue to drag us. And
I
we are
wanted to
innocent.
stop. I wanted all to stop. I mean,
Right.
we
I
wa-
mean,
we don't
we don't
we're
want
stopping.
this.
We don't
We
want to talk
never
about it
asked.
either.
We
We
never
wasn't trying to
asked
hurt
for it.
anybody. We wasn't trying to hurt Hemi. We
No.
wasn't trying to hurt anybody. We were simply trying to help somebody.
Well,
That's
you
that was
guys
the
know
whole
we
thing.
wouldn't hurt anybody. I mean, people
And
know
Hemi
us
was our
around here.
friend. He was our
Yeah.
friend. He came in here and talked to us the night before that. He was in here. He was in Andrea's Thursday night after the accident. He was in Andrea's Thursday. It was Thursday, And
Well,
then he come and got on our panel after that, and
right. He told
we
us
never
everything
asked
was fine. I
yeah,
mean,
and we never asked him for anything.
he
And
never
then
he doesn't understand that what he did by he's the one that I mean, it happened to him, so he vetted the lies they told. That's
thank you
what
so
dug
much.
deep in me. That hurt me so bad. Him just being quiet and not speaking up and saying, no, they didn't ask me for it. No, I haven't given them a lot of money. No, they have never asked me for any money. We didn't treat him like that. We never even looked at him like that at all. I mean, not at all. I mean, I wouldn't if he had
So the basic
$10 million.
thing
I never
is,
would.
Hemi, if you're watching this, we intentionally did not try to hurt you at all. We
And
know
we,
we like you. We've always liked you. We left you come on our panels anytime that you came in here. It was never nothing like that. We was not trying to hurt you at all. And I did not know this how bad your accident was until later when we found out, because I didn't know how bad it was. I thought, because all I heard
because
was
he
you had
let
an
on like
accident.
it wasn't. I mean, he told us that he had a cast up to his balls, but
That was after the
but,
fact, not in the
but
beginning.
right. I
I
mean,
didn't
but
know how bad it was until after that.
he told us we were concerned about, she was a drunk driver. She didn't have insurance. He said, "Oh, I'm taking care of it. I got full coverage insurance." He told us he he's the one that said, he's the one that acted like old Hemi and that everything was fine.
Yeah,
And then when he said he wasn't fine, and we was
he
like,
never did
we
say he
asked
wasn't fine.
questions,
He never did say he wasn't fine.
right?
He said he
But I
was
mean,
okay.
but when he said, when he said that, like when in Andrew, I mean, that night that it all went down, I mean, he was like that he was saying on somebody else's panel that he wasn't fine, and even then, when I was listening to him on that panel, I was like, well, why didn't you just say so? All you had to say was that right there to us, and I mean, but we were there for him anyway. We didn't ask him for no money, so I didn't ask him for a dime. You know, I mean, I did. We didn't. And I mean, everybody, you have to take responsibility. If you're on panels, people have responsibilities they have to take care of. And so we did this, and we had to get all the funds together before the deadline. And he was fine talking about, you know, gossiping and talking about everything else. So we didn't think that it hurt one bit to get a confirmation. It
No,
wasn't that big a deal. And they
but that's
twisted
all.
it
That's
into
all
us
we'll
that we're
say. I mean,
cruel. I
that's
just,
basically all that we could say is that
right.
we still. I mean, Hemi.
And
We're
we
not
feel
trying to hurt
bad.
Hemi. We feel bad that he's been in an accident. I
And
feel
I
bad
feel
he's
bad
been in
that
an
these people
accident.
manipulated him into turning on his good friends because we
Yeah,
were
because
his
we
good
were good
friends.
friends. We were good
We did
friends.
not look at him like dollar signs. And
No,
we
never.
did work as hard as we could to get as much of the funds up so he wouldn't have to cover anything at all. I mean, we got it all without him. I mean, we was not depending on him, just him. Just because he said that he would do it doesn't mean we're going to throw it all on his back. Who does that?
We were just trying to get confirmation, so we'll
Right.
know if
To
we
get
had to
all
come
of our
up with
ducks in a
what else we'd
row.
had to come up with, or how much she had to come up with before she had to be
And
out there.
nobody even wants to see where we're coming from. Is all they do is they listen to these vile humans that call us all these nasty names, and they use all these cuss words and all these nasty things,
Okay.
and make fun of us, and that hurts. I mean, it hurts when you're not like that.
Hey
When,
SK, how are you doing? Wanted to stop by and say hello, ladies, and chat.
oh,
Well,
thank
thank
you.
you for
We
coming
appreciate
by.
it.
Yeah, I
We've just
appreciate it.
taken so many hits. We've taken so many hits, and we have just and
And
stood up.
it really hurts us because
It
we like TT. I enjoyed her chat. I like going to her chat sometimes, and it really hurt me to know that she was going to attack us for something like that when I didn't. When there was no, we wasn't trying to hurt him at all. There was no trying to hurt him at all. And
and they
it
act.
made
I mean,
and it we wasn't trying to like come at him and just beat him down or nothing. We was just trying to get a confirmation. But I know everybody takes it different, and I know we come at him at a
right,
bad time and ask him. But she once she had once that she turned in the application for that apartment, she only had 5 days. That's all they held it. That's the reason why the time was like important. And if he was going to help, we needed to know. And if not, we would understood. We would have never said anything if he couldn't do it.
Right.
We would have totally understood because he just had an accident and
Yeah.
stuff.
And we were telling him that, he needed to rest and that he maybe he shouldn't, how are you, holding up, uh, because he was on panel just like he was before. I mean, nothing changed. I mean, and so, you know, but
He
nobody,
was up here cutting up with us and everything and
right,
laughing and everything.
laughing and
We thought everything was fine. We
right.
didn't. No, we didn't know anything.
And we didn't, and if you'll go and listen on that live, I mean, the night before, we didn't ask him for a dime. I mean,
No, that we
it was
didn't.
just getting close to time and we just needed confirmation. That's
But
all.
we really didn't know I didn't know how bad his wreck was until later. I just knew he was in an accident, and I thought he was okay because he said he was okay. And
Well, I
then
know that,
when
he said
come to
that
find
his
out, and he said that he had the cast all the way up to his nuts. But
balls, and then he said that
he
we
had a
didn't know how
broken
bad it
arm.
was. But
He had a broken
yeah,
arm or something.
yeah, and I mean, we didn't know that, that they keep saying he almost died. He almost died, and I mean,
We did not know
well,
that until he come up here
Andrea,
and told us he
she
was
checked
fine.
on him and everything, and nothing was ever said about he almost died. I mean, he
He
broke
had
his
a wreck
arm.
Monday, and he texted her Wednesday and said he had a car
Right,
accident, and he was going
right,
to be out. He was going to be out of the hospital Friday, and then he
yeah.
came up on panel. Well, he didn't come up on panel. He come in the chat Thursday and was talking to us. It said and like he was fine and everything. He was telling us about the car accident and stuff. So and then he came up on our panel and talked to us and said that he was okay and stuff. We didn't know it was that serious until he started telling us on panel what had happened.
But it wouldn't have. I mean, we wouldn't have turned into the bad guys, and it would have been fine if somebody didn't see an ulterior and go and manipulate him uh, into turning on, making him believe that his friends were not treating him right and not being there for him, and not saying the right words and not saying and just treating, you know,
We
and then
considered
he just.
ourselves a good friend. We were good friends with him. We laughed and cut up with him. He told us
I
he
I am
loved us.
still
He
just
always
blown
says,
away
"I
by it.
love." He said, "I love you, Mama." That's what he says. He
Right,
calls me Mama,
right,
Mama, and
all
we
the
told him
time.
we loved him. I mean, it was a friendly relationship, and that's the reason I was kind of shocked and took back by it. Way everybody just
Yeah.
attacked us and like we didn't
And,
care for him.
and there was no way that we would have just sat back and let Hemi come up with all the $2,000. That is not who we are. Andrea was working her due
We was
diligently
dropping
to get that
PayPal. We
money.
was working on
We were
trying to get the
trying
money.
our best to come. I mean, we didn't want him to have to do that. We didn't want him
We
volunteering
didn't
it.
want nobody to have to come up with that.
Right,
Anything she could have got would have been better than nothing. I
right.
mean, any
And if
little bit would have helped
and
on
if
anything
the
like that.
medical stuff hadn't happened to me and I had to, pay so much out of pocket and stuff, then I would have gave all of it to her and nobody would have known nothing. you
Yeah,
know. And I mean,
we can't get.
I
We don't have
and
the money to give her the whole thing for it.
right, and that's all we need to do to help her. That's all, and that's what our channel was about.
Just trying
That's
to
where
help
the
others.
direction that we wanted to go in was to give what came the money, the revenue that brought into our channel was going to be given to our subscribers and to our people that needed help, and it was going to be on giveaways, and then eventually we were going to get, have them, put the money away, to if someone needed help, we just give it all to them.
Hey,
Nobody would have to ask outside of us.
so
They
Dawn,
would just,
where did you study up on this case at the Darlie
she got the
Routier case?
transcripts and
I know, but she said she was in a group too. What kind of
oh
group was
yeah.
you in? Did you is it like a Facebook group like the Watts case is it on, or was it something on YouTube that you was on, or what? Because I know there's like Facebook groups that you can go on to, and
Mm.
they have places where you can look into
Well, I know there's like 10 different groups and there's like
mom
4 or
being
5
there
different channels.
and helping
Um,
to help her avoid the death penalty. Okay. Blues girl, it's what's on Reddit, Southern lady. I missed it.
are stalling and hoping to help her avoid the death penalty. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Southern Lady
Yes, my
search for
mom.
Dolly Routier trial transcripts. I
So
googled
you
it
think that
and
they're just stalling the
responded and it came
what's
up.
inevitable that she is? You think that she will be put to death? I mean, eventually.
I
That
don't. I. I don't think. I don't think she will.
see, I believe that I don't think that they're gonna be able to help her in time because all her appeals have been exhausted, and I think that she will be one that will be put to death before we know it, the
Thank you,
all
Southern
the
Lady.
answers. You know, that's what I'm afraid of. I think I'm afraid. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. It's my opinion. In my heart, I guess, because I'm going by my heart, I guess. But I feel like that it's going to happen. You know, and I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there for that too. Just um, because it's awful. You know, I don't. I just don't. I wouldn't want anybody. I mean, I know that. You know, I guess if it happened to one of my children or something, I would think differently. But I was just
You would
raised.
probably.
It's not your place to judge, and it's not
I
your
think the
place.
longer they sit in jail, they had to pay for the crime. I mean, just sitting in jail, that's
I
making them
think a life
suffer.
sentence is worse than the death
Yeah.
penalty myself because they
I
are
was
housed
first
different.
in an online group that advocated for her. That was before there was a Facebook. Then I pulled the docs and changed my mind. Then I did join Facebook groups for both sides. I still keep up. Okay, okay. I figured you might have did it on Facebook or something because I know
I
the
mean,
Watts case. You can find it on Facebook. And they got a
yeah.
lot of groups on Facebook
Oh,
on the
I
Watts
am
case.
a part of every one of them. I swear. I was. I mean, I'm not anymore. I've had no interest no more. I can't even. I mean,
I still follow the Watts case on
I
Facebook
mean,
on
I
some
look at the
groups.
videos of Shanann sometimes, but just
I see
because
it all through my Facebook because that's what
they
I
were
follow the group. I
her
follow
and
some
those kids were a
groups.
bright light. I just believe they were a bright light that didn't deserve to be snuffed out. And just like I guess I look at all cases the same in that aspect that no one has the right to take anyone else's life. I
No,
think it should happen when it's your time to go, and it's no. And I think that you'll be held accountable if you take someone's life. I mean, unless you know that you're truly very sorry for it. And
that's a
I
long
just,
time being so done with it.
I mean, 10 years. She investigated this for 10 years.
She
And that's
started
why
the case
I
before
am
being
so thrilled
convicted.
that she's in here because, God, I have so many questions. And I've always wanted to ask someone that has looked at both sides and really deep dove into it. And 10 years is a long time. And that I couldn't ask for any better than that because I just, oh,
Isn't it funny how when you read the trial, things change how
yeah.
you felt sometimes? Yep.
And see, when I read the Stephen Avery trial, my feelings just
That's a
got
lot of
strong.
reading too on those cases.
Right.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah. My feelings got stronger on as far as him being innocent. And Brandon Dassey, I mean, he was 16 years old, that poor baby. I just, you know, and him going into an adult prison can, you know, the fear of, and I know because of what my family went through and my son that um, if you're innocent and this horrific thing happens to you, you know, if you're a mom, any kind of mom, you're going to spend every day right there in that cell with them, and that's where you live until they get out. And I didn't live. I didn't live. I didn't. Um, my life just was empty, empty, total empty shell until my son got out, and now we're starting to live again. And it feels great, you know, starting to breathe again, and you know, and he can call me on the phone anytime he wants, and he can come and get me anytime he wants, and it's amazing, you know, to hear about his job and to hear about his life, and he's finally getting to live, and when you're in a position that you're put in, and I know the justice system is crooked. And I believed in it wholeheartedly when my son got in trouble. I believed in the justice system. And I marched my butt right up there, to that jail and said, if this is what they're saying is true, then you deserve to be where you are. And
Yeah,
and it
if you
wasn't even hard. It wasn't even hard for me to do that because that's the way I raised my kids to be. They're accountable for their own actions. And then to find out that he was innocent, and I knew he was innocent in my heart, but I just thought that he made some bad decisions and he had to suffer his own
he was with the
consequences.
wrong girl at the wrong time. He was with the wrong
Right.
person.
But I
And
didn't realize what I was saying, it's signing his life
he
away.
wanted to believe in her and he wanted to stand by her, so it cost him to his life.
Everything. Right. It did. It cost him most of his life.
Yep.
He went in a child and he came out an adult that is, in prison, when they go into prison like that, and they're young, they're kids. Um, he was barely 18, and they come out. Uh, they are still 18 when they come out because their minds have not um,
Shoot, they got a
matured.
man up in there.
Right. But their minds have not matured, and they have not got to live any life experiences and had any relationships or had not real ones. They had no real relationships at all. It's all just lies and fake, and nobody tells the truth about anything. I mean, it's horrid. It really is horrid. And the police and the everybody lies. I mean, they just tell you just anything to get rid of you. It's not. They have no rights. They strip them of all the rights, and you have no rights. And you know, my son was almost killed, and I didn't even know it until he was on life support, and I didn't know it until after they took him back to the prison that he was at, and he got his jaws unwired where he could talk, and he had someone else call me and tell me that he was all right. But you just don't even know what it's like. Nobody knows what it's like to believe in something so wholeheartedly and raise your children to be accountable for their actions, and then you run into a crooked system that just strips you of everything that you have, and it destroys your family. My family has been just ripped to shreds, and that's why I look at the people that could be innocent in prison, and I really do. Those cases really get to me because if they are innocent, look at what they've been through, and look at what they're going through, and look at what their families have been through, and look at what Darlie's other child has been through without his mom and people accusing her. I mean, her being on, you know, I just,
Did
it's
uh
just,
did Darren ever take his son up there to see her? Uh, some done with
yeah,
it. Did he visit? She get to visit her other son. That would be kind of hard to not know if she really did. If she did kill her boys, that would be hard knowing that she taking the other son up there to see a mother that
right,
didn't want the kids in the first place.
right, and that he's
Yeah,
growing up, and he's probably has doubts, um, in his heart. I mean, he probably doesn't know what to believe. I mean, really, I mean, you don't. I mean, we didn't even get the facts. I couldn't even. They wouldn't even allow me to talk to my son about
so he's
what.
visited all his life with her, all up till he got grown. He believes she's innocent.
Well, that's good that he
He's
does. I
never
mean,
been
really.
allowed to touch her or hug her, but he visits through plexiglass. Oh,
See, I mean, that's hard. Shot of poison. It's okay. I mean, I cry, but I mean, I cry, but it's over now, and we are just so ecstatic that it's over, and that we're. It's just reliving it, in the thing that the worst thing about it. I mean, I guess. Well, it's not the worst thing, but um, we are just now able to sit down and talk about it. He's,
He's visited her his whole life.
I mean, and like, how, what kind of relationship can you form behind plexiglass? Everybody's around,
He
everybody's
now doesn't
listening.
discuss if he thinks she's innocent or guilty, though. He's old enough to kind of make his own choices now.
How
So
old is he? I mean, he has
he
to
has to
be
be about
getting on up there.
28 or something like that.
Yeah, he has to be on up there. I mean,
27
like,
or 28.
but you carry, I mean, you carry questions, and like, we were not able to discuss with my son what took place, the truth. I mean, what happened. They would not allow us to talk about it. They would shut us down, or they would make us leave the prison or leave the jail. We were not allowed to discuss it whatsoever with him. And
His trial. I mean, his situation.
huh?
His situation you couldn't discuss.
Oh no, no, you could not discuss it. They would not allow it.
I wonder why.
Um, I don't know. I mean, it's like, and you just were not allowed to talk about it at all. And then once they get in prison, there's certain things that um, you they don't talk about. It's like you just can't. You can't. And they will, like, if you like, when we would go in, I was allowed to hug him, but you couldn't have the hug too long, um, because they would split it up, or they
I'm
would make
surprised
you
they
go
even let
home.
you hug them. Period. Most
Well,
places they don't do that.
his is not behind. His wasn't behind plexiglass, but
Oh,
there was times that it was behind plexiglass, like for long periods of time. Um, like if there was anything going on, like if he got in trouble or anything happened, he would be punished, and we would drive like 3 and 4 hours to go see him, and we would only get to see him 30 minutes to an hour, and it was behind plexiglass over the phone. And the hardest thing in the whole world was when I had to leave the prison and leave my baby there. That was the hardest thing that I had ever experienced in my life, is leaving my baby there, because I didn't know if he was ever going to come out of that place. I really didn't believe he would ever come out. And I had it in my heart. I mean, I already mourned him. I mean, I'd been mourning him the whole time. And when he got to come out, it was just so surreal that he was out. I could touch him and I could be with him. And now, and he wouldn't talk about it though. And but when I got sick, me and him had a chance to sit down and start talking about it. And now we can talk about anything. Like, we sat on the phone the other night for 4 hours talking about everything, and I mean, all about it, and why that things happened the way they did, and the mistakes. How sorry he said he was for everything that happened, and that if he could change it, he would. And it's and he said, how can you sit back and say, that it's okay, just as long as you're out here with me, he said, how can you say that? And I said, because you're my baby. I mean, as long as you're out here and you're healthy and you're happy, and I don't have to worry about if somebody's going to kill you tonight, and because he was in some rough prisons. And he was a baby. I protected him his whole life. He had no idea what a jail cell looked like. He had no idea what breaking the law was. He had no idea about any of it. And I didn't either, really. I got in trouble a lot, but I was in a little hometown. It was a joke. It was nothing like this. And when you have to come up with almost $1 million for a defense, and and you're sitting there looking at your baby not ever getting to, you know, have Christmas with him with the family ever again. I mean, just in the days, just God, they just go by so slow. It's like one day is like a year. I mean, it just never.
Well, now Good thing to look at now. He's out and he's happy.
I know he's out, and
I
he's
wouldn't even
talking
think about
about it,
that
and
before.
but I mean, and he is, he's going to get. He called me the other night and told me, "Mama, I think that the best thing for me to do is get some counseling because I think I need it." He said, "I really do believe I need some counseling," and I said, "Because I've been trying to get him to go talk to someone. You need to go talk to someone. You're going to need that." And he just brushed me off, and kept doing that. And then he goes, "You were right all along, and I knew you were right. I just didn't want to admit it." And he said, "But I do need some counseling." He said, "Because there's things on, that just are eating him up. That he's just not used to being free." I mean, he said the difference is the how you feel. He said that he said this, you have a sense of security of that the doors, you having bars on your doors, and you not having bars on your doors, you feel unsafe. You're always looking around you, and he said that it was just a nightmare. What the things that it was going on inside of him, and he said that he was gonna, and I was so proud, that he was gonna get that he admitted that, and he was gonna go and get some help.
Yeah, that's the best
I
thing.
Right, and
Ain't
and if
nothing
there
wrong with
is
counseling. I don't think.
right,
I think it could help him.
right, and if and look at how many innocent people there are in there, and look at how many people that their loved ones never come out, and and even the ones that are guilty, there's somebody's baby, there's somebody's baby, there's somebody's brother, there's somebody, they are somebody, no matter what they've done, they are somebody,
Yeah.
and somebody is feeling the pain of what happened, the impact of what their actions, or the impact of you know how they turned out. I mean, is affecting somebody down the road. It's affecting someone, and they might not realize it if they're cold-blooded killers or whatever they are. Uh, they might not ever realize it, but there is someone at home that has been hurt by it. And I know that there's many of victims that have, they're the victims. Their family's been hurt by it too, and there's just no fixing it. There's no fixing their judgment or their decisions that they make in that one split second. There's just no fixing it. You can't go back.
Nope.
Just like if she is guilty, I bet she wished she could go back and change it.
Yep.
If she's guilty, I bet, I bet all of them rethink what they've done. Like Chris Watts, I bet he wished he could go back and Shanann was here.
Yep. And his life was like it was.
Right,
He had a home and he had everything he could think of.
right. Because I mean, he doesn't have what his goal was anyway,
Nope.
right? I mean, none of them do. I mean,
I don't
I
see why they want to go out and do the crime like that, knowing that there's a chance of them doing time.
yeah, yeah, and
That's
I
crazy.
just,
Knowing
yeah,
most
I mean,
people get caught. What's the chances of you getting not?
I
I mean, these
what
people
makes
they
them
should
think is
know
they're the ones that's going to be the ones that get away
not
with it,
get caught. Yeah, the ones that get away with it. That's crazy.
That's what I think's funny. I guess I'm selfish to an extent of saying I'm not giving up my life to do anything to anybody else. I mean, why would I just don't get that? I mean, because the odds are that's what they got to look forward to is a life in prison.
Yep.
I mean, are you
Or
willing to give up
how
everything you
many he
have?
get life? He get 5 life sentences. He
I
only
mean,
gonna be
there's
on one.
well, yeah, okay. She cared about the way she looked and stuff. Well, she can't dye her hair. There's no makeup. There's no nothing. I mean, there's
No boob
nothing.
jobs in there. No nothing.
I mean, somebody telling you what to do. There's no privacy. Uh, there's no nothing. I'm telling you, there's nothing. And and for the children that are left behind. I mean, yeah, her baby. You know, he needs a mother. I mean, he needs his mother. I don't care. I mean,
He's grown
that
now.
he's grown, but it doesn't matter. look at he might be a grown man, but the damage is done, and
Already
he
been
will live
done.
with it forever for the rest of his life.
Yep.
It will never go away.
Mm-mm.
I mean, and if she did it, uh, does she ever? I mean, does she think about what she's put on her family, what she put on her baby boy? Does she not? I mean, the ones that are
You
living,
know
does
she
she?
does.
I mean, the two little boys are in peace and they're in heaven, and they deserve to be here. Yes, they do. But there's ones living that are living in turmoil because of her actions if she did
Yeah.
it. I mean that. I just don't understand why. How can people be so selfish and not think of other people when they go to make that decision of, is this the right thing to do or is it the wrong thing to do? You know, I have to consider other people when I go to make a decision. And that's why I guess that this YouTube thing hurts so bad, because I always do that. I would never hurt anybody intentionally. Never. I would hurt myself first. I mean, I would remove myself from the situation, or remove myself from YouTube, if I thought I hurt somebody. I would. I'm just that way. I just, I don't know. My parents were old fashioned. But the ones who take someone out and then bury them in their own yard, like, geez, good thing you're an idiot if you do stuff for that and deserve to be called. I know, right? Well, I just seen this interrogation today of this woman that, um,
I don't see why he would have took him to his jobs, his work site,
I
knowing that's
don't.
going to be the first place they're going to look is at your work site. Dumb.
Well, no, it wasn't the first place they
That should
was
have
going
been
to
the
look,
first place they looked, is where he was
but it
located.
wasn't going to be. They said it wasn't going to be.
They was
I
going to look
mean,
there because they're going to follow what he done.
but they
They
said
would
that
have had to look
the
there.
timeline didn't fit. So, and there's other people there at the work site, so they never dreamed that that's what he would have done with them. The
We ain't going to
sheet,
start on the Watts case. We're not starting
I
on the
know,
Watts
but that
case.
sheet is what gave him away there.
We'll have a mess here when we start with the Watts.
Can you believe that? Oh, yeah. Can you believe that people are going back and revisiting the Watts case, though?
I know, that's what I heard.
They are. And I mean, like, Unjustified, she's doing it in depth. Look at it. And it's amazing. I mean, really, because I can't imagine, that case I lost sleep over that thing. And
I
I
did
don't,
too. I cried over that case so many times.
well, I just don't think that I ever would want to get into something like that ever again, like that deep into a case where
Me
that it
neither.
digs that deep.
I want to go up there and slap the shit out of Chris Watts right now so he tell the truth. Tell
And
the
just like
truth for
the
once.
Stephen Avery case and the Brandon Dassey, I have to cover the Stephen Avery part of it, because the Brandon Dassey, it hits me too close to home. And for and I tried to block out, what their side of it is, the thinking they're innocent and what their families have went through, and and all that. That's hard. And I mean, there is a victim here, but that victim has not gotten justice if the wrong people are in jail for it. But you think about the ones that they think that is guilty for it. It is people that are close to these men. I
So,
mean,
John, with it, why don't you do this case about Darlie Routier since you know so much about it? How
I
come
wish
you
I
haven't
wish
done
she would
live?
come up
That would
on
be awesome.
panel.
Yeah,
I
that
wish she
would
would
be
come.
awesome.
I mean, like, we could read the transcripts and stuff, and I mean, and discuss it with
It would
her,
be.
because she looked at it from an innocent point of view, for a long
Kelly,
time.
me too, girl. Me too.
I know, right?
I'll
Yeah, it
never,
is.
I'll never end that case until I know the answers. I want to
Well,
know what
I'm
happened.
just really impressed with So Done With It, because
I
the
want him
way
to
that
talk.
she took a look at it, the Darlie Routier case. I like the way she dove into it thinking she's innocent, and then coming out with something else. I mean, that's really interesting to me. I'm more interested than picking her brains, I think, than anything else. I mean, I think that's really interesting because she's got 10 years under her belt.
She could do a live about it and tell the whole story one day.
Yeah,
She could
yeah,
have wrote a book about it.
right. She probably could. Yeah, she could have.
Yes, Kelly, me too, girlie. I feel the same way. NK2 needs to tell the damn truth. Both of them had something to do
Yeah.
with that shit.
Oh, yeah.
They never convinced me that they wouldn't both of them involved. She was involved in that case just as much as he was.
What? I mean, oh, to push for it. Right. Oh, you're sweet. Did you see what she wrote?
The Memphis Three, I'd like to know who done that. Yeah,
To
I've seen
push
that.
for her death. I don't want her executed. That really is sweet. So done with it because yeah, I don't. I just don't want. I just don't feel. I don't. I don't really. I know that there's evil people in the world and people think that they deserve to be executed, but I just don't think we have the right as human beings to judge that. I mean, they need to be put in jail until they die. I mean, because killing them is not going to bring anyone back, and it's like two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I mean? It's like I guess I don't believe it. I thought I believed in the death penalty, but I guess I don't. That's weird, isn't it? That I never thought about it.
You'd like to hear what everyone's final thoughts were on the Chris Watts case? Maybe one night you could do that. Oh, Lord. We'd have so many people up here arguing, girl, it wouldn't even be funny.
Now, people are looking at it. I mean, people are looking at it from more of an objective point of view, and I mean, they're like, "Oh wow, I didn't see it that way," you know.
I
But
believe that she had something to do with it too. Is my thoughts.
she manipulated the situation and made it happen.
She was involved in it. Had her
And
hands in it.
she might not have she might not have put her
She had her hands in
physically.
it. They were dirty.
Well, it doesn't. Her mind was dirty. I mean, she manipulated him just like the one day that she went over to Shanann's house and everything, went up to their bedroom and prowled around. I mean, who does that creepy crap?
Who searches for her in 2017, the year before they ever meet?
But I know that you know what, that is my number one question. That if anybody knows the answer to that, I need an answer to that because you know what, it still bothers me. What in the hell was that?
Why was she searching
A year
Chris
before?
Watt's wife a year before the case? I mean, for the murder.
Right. That's the only. I mean, that is something that I cannot answer, no matter which way I turn it. I cannot answer that question. And so, does anybody have that answer? Because I want to know it. You know, I really do. Because I've asked a lot of people, and a lot of people have answers, but they don't really answer it. You know, it's like they don't have a fact. You know, because I want facts with it. I want to know
Friday
because
night, y'all. We all sitting here on a Friday night. Ain't that so cool? Us all in here on a Friday night.
They said it. They said it was a mistake.
We ain't out bar hopping. We out here on YouTube hopping.
Speak for yourself. You don't know where I am.
Yes, bar hopping right now.
Yeah.
It's awful quiet at that bar. Then you got a boring bar. Then
I know, right? It's a bunch of all elderly people. It's funny. I'm not wild anymore. See, my puff pass is about as wild as it gets. I don't feel the need to run, to run the streets like I used to. And I'm tired. I don't have as much energy.
Was looking him up, wanted to see what his life was like. I figure, Kelly, hey Kelly, hey Kelly.
Kelly cares.
Kelly cares.
Kelly cares. She does. I think she had her sights set on him long before. See, that's what I thought, that she had her sights set on him. I mean, so, you know, because they said it was suspicious that she got a job. I mean, the way she got a job there and all. I mean, just all of it.
why would she even know to look him up? Look them up before then.
Yeah. Right. I mean, how did she know to get her sights set on him? What made her do
Yeah, and
that?
he's gonna be at that job and stuff.
Yeah.
Broken, we
She
all know
probably her whole life wanted
Hush your mouth, Angela, Mom. Hush your mouth.
she probably wanted, other people's, what other people had. She wanted it for herself instead of, going and getting her own. She wanted what other people had. I bet you money. My opinion, because there's some people on these YouTube streets that are like that. Oh my god! But I
I
don't
wonder where
know.
she is too. She's out there somewhere, and ain't nobody even seemed to come up on her either. That's the funny
Well,
thing.
y'all
How
tell me that right there. How she stayed
disappeared out of sight, clear
hid.
out of sight. Nobody knows where she's at.
How do we know she didn't see Shanann on Facebook?
Shot
Yeah.
boy, you better hush
Oh
your
my
mouth
god!
too.
You know what? What is so done with it? What if that was it? What if she saw those videos and she saw the life that Shanann had and got so jealous and envious and she wanted him? I mean, she set her eyes on him then. That would explain it. That's a good answer. I always wondered that too.
Kelly, that's what I wonder. Why ain't she
Yeah.
surfaced anywhere?
I mean, because, the media, no matter how.
She just disappeared. Ain't nobody
Look
find
at the
her.
celebrities and how much money they have, and look how they get hired out and stuff. And somebody always knows something about where they are and what they're doing, and nobody knows anything. I mean, it seems like I don't know, it just seems like that they would, come up with something about her, something. And can you imagine if if she starts dating and,
She might have went and got pregnant by Chris and had a baby. We never know.
we don't know. Yeah,
She could have been pregnant whenever all that stuff went down. That's the reason why he took the rap for it all. How do we know?
no, we don't know. We don't know anything about her. That's the
Chris
thing.
could
We
have
don't know
another baby
nothing.
right now. We don't know.
We don't know anything. And you don't.
She's about 5 years old now.
Oh crap! Don't even say that because they'll say you're starting rumors about that.
Well, he could have had a baby. They don't know for a fact. That might be the reason why he didn't want her going to jail. She said she was pregnant.
I can't imagine knowing someone 6 weeks and and loving them more than you do your wife and children. I mean, knowing somebody 6 weeks ain't gonna give me no motive to
Yeah, you could fall in
get
love
rid
in
of my
6 weeks. I
family.
could fall in love in 6 weeks. No, I
What?
could. Hell yeah. It depends on if you had a good man or not.
Whatever.
Find you a good man.
I have a good man, and
She did everything that he liked. Everything that he liked. She knew what all he liked, and she tried to do everything to get that man to fall for her.
it was more. I mean, it took more than 6 weeks for. And I have a wonderful husband that is, far beyond that. Everybody tells me they don't make them like him anymore, and they don't. But it wasn't enough for me to,
See,
I
that could be the
still.
reason why she wore that big hoodie. No, she wouldn't have been that far along, though, was she?
Listening to you.
They only known each other 6 weeks. She might have just found out she was pregnant. She just found out. She said she wanted to have his son for him. Maybe she got pregnant and had a boy or a girl.
I just can't. I mean, 6 weeks. That
She
is.
wanted to have his son, she said, his first son. And she
You know,
might have
look how
she might
weak
have been
he had to
pregnant.
be. Look how weak he is, though.
What would
I
y'all?
mean,
That would be something if we found out she was pregnant, had Chris's kid, wouldn't it? People would be shocked.
well, I just can't believe that. I can't believe that she stayed this hidden this long, y'all. I think she's going to try to make money off of it someday.
She could come out and write a book. Hell,
I think she's going to. I think that
I'm
someday
surprised she
she's going
didn't
to come
try to be
out.
like what's her name and write a book.
Oh well, someday she's going to come out and she's going to make money off this. Y'all watch.
No, she's gonna be afraid somebody's gonna kill her.
It won't be in my lifetime. Oh, you know what? That's another thing. I'd be scared in my life too if I was her
Mm-hmm.
because of
These crazy people on YouTube.
Yeah, you
These
said it.
people are crazy enough just to know, just us like now talking. We ain't even committed murder or nothing. They ready to kill us on here.
Right.
They must tell
Yeah.
him what they do to somebody like her, knowing where she lived.
Right, because we have absolutely no content whatsoever, y'all, at all. I mean, we just, you know, they don't believe in coming on and just talking. I mean, and they don't understand that we are their, every chance they get, they leap on us being their content. I'm like, I'm glad we're that interesting.
Andrea, how many boxes have you got packed? Yeah.
That's why. We need to start that fund, so we can fly over there.
Yeah, we got to fly to see her and fly to help her pack up.
Yeah.
We need
I
some airline
know.
tickets.
And rooms and, food and just think about everything. It's going to cost a fortune, at least, 50,000 at least to get us over there. I need to take my husband, so he can do it for us. We'll go out to eat and stuff, and go.
Kelly.
We'll go to bar hopping and let my husband pack it all up, move it for her.
Uh-oh, my chair is coming undone.
My husband's got a big moving job tomorrow. He's got to go all the way to Dallas.
Dallas, Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
If Dallas were in
And he'll go through Rowlett.
Me and Andrea need massages as ice cream. Yeah.
You should have seen when we went to California and took a load of antique furniture to some people up there and delivered it. And I was begging him to stop in that place where the West Boys were from.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I was begging. But please, can't we just stop? It won't take long, I promise. He's like, we are not stopping on one of your crime cases. There's no way. He goes, there's not much telling what you get us into. He's like, no way. Oh. And my family and all, I talked to them about, they're like, so what'd you do today? And I'm like, oh, I just listened to videos on this case. And I start talking about the case. And they're like, we really don't want to hear this. How can you listen to this morbid stuff? They just think that I don't know. I guess people think that it's strange that we have that curiosity of,
you see tomorrow's headlines
no.
on YouTube? Broken and Andrea taking the money to go bar hopping and eat dinner. Scammers.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Oh, Lord.
I'm glad that I turned out to be. Oh, and they did make comments under my videos, that you and Andrea need to cut me loose because I'm the root of the problem.
Turn me loose.
And I was like, I feel like I am, the old geezer here, and but
why don't you turn me loose, broken? Turn me loose.
Good Lord, woman.
You holding me hostage?
She won't even do karaoke with me, y'all. Isn't that pathetic? She'll sing all day long in your ear, but she won't sing with you.
I hadn't heard that song in a long time. Do you know that song?
Yeah, I know a lot. I mean, I don't listen to music hardly anymore. Since this YouTube crap, I don't watch television. I don't watch TV shows anymore except Walking Dead now. The Fear of the Walking Dead is what I'm gonna watch. The new one's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I am gonna watch. I mean, The Walking Dead has gotten too out there.
What's everybody else watch on? What's everybody else watch whenever they're not on YouTube? What do y'all watch? Something good. Give me something good to watch.
You know what? The thing about
Walking
YouTube,
Dead.
the thing about YouTube is you can watch any damn thing you want.
I know it, but
anytime you want, and you don't have to wait till the programming shows it, and you don't have to watch commercials. So um, you can watch anything. So why watch TV when
I don't
you
watch TV that much.
when you can just punch in whatever you want to watch and just watch it. And I watch, like, if I can't sleep, I watch one movie after another movie after. I want to watch this movie and that movie and this one, and, or I want to go see this. Or I mean, there's just everything right there at our fingertips anymore. And when I was growing up, I mean, to think that you would have a computer in your home and that we would be doing this, or cell phones, is unbelievable. You know, and we got to experience both worlds. Like in my age group, like we got to experience what it was like to the paper and pencil and going to the library and doing your homework and looking up stuff at the library, and uh, then you get to experience
Down to
having cell
that.
phones and the computers coming in and technology growing. We've got to experience so many different aspects of the world, which my daddy never even got to see that the computer part, because he passed away when I was 17, but he never got to see any of that. And I'm thankful that I got to see a little bit of different worlds. But then you young kids, y'all all have only you only get to have you only know what it's like to have technology at your fingertips, you know, and so you guys don't get to experience the experiences that we got to experience. So I think that our age group is kind of special in that way that we got to live a more broader range uh, of
Mhm.
life, you know, because
Well,
I mean,
well.
well, I guess we better get off of here so that I can get busy because I still got
Can you
four
believe
loads
we
of
didn't have no
laundry to
trolls
do.
coming here tonight?
We
No
didn't have any
trolls.
trolls coming in here tonight.
That's great.
They're probably afraid that our heads would spin around and then explode.
Be like the Exodus.
Yeah, you said it. I felt like that the other night, when I was listening to that one live, because I didn't go and listen to it because I thought it would upset me, and then I said, "What do you have to be upset about? You know who you are, and that's all that matters." So, and
I didn't even go watch them. That's what
well,
I
and I
was.
went and listened to it, and it was really bizarre.
I was told a
Lis-
few things, but I didn't go watch them.
Oh, and listening to the things that they were saying that was just so out there, and the what the narrative that they spin. Um, it's very simple, cut and dry, black and white. There's
Yeah, you
truth.
did so done with it. I saw that. I saw you try to
What?
keep us on topic. She tried to keep us on topic tonight.
I know she did try to keep us on topic, and
We
we
try to veer off a little bit there,
we
but we
are
got back on
horrible.
track. I try
We're
to spin her
sorry.
back
We're
on track over
sorry.
there.
We love you so done with it. We do. We're sorry. We can't help ourselves. We wouldn't be us if we didn't veer off a topic. Everybody's
Yeah,
always trying to
we
reel us
always talk
in.
about something else besides what's on
Yeah,
topic every time.
yeah,
We can't never
we
stay on
do.
topic on our
And
on
we
any of
apologize, we apologize, we do. But once we get into, the transcripts and all that stuff and start looking at the evidence, I just can't wait to look at the evidence and I can't wait. So done with it. Oh God, you've got to be here for that because I got a lot of questions about that evidence and all that stuff. You're the one that should be up on panel and I should be asking you questions. But I mean, like,
our
um, I feel so dumb to the case, because I didn't want to refresh myself too much on it because I want to, it I want to look at it from different angles. And boy, did I get shocked tonight. I did. Y'all really,
I
made
think
me
I'm
look
gonna
at
go
it.
take me a good old hot shower.
I'm going to take a bubble bath after I do my 4 loads of laundry.
Oh Lord, you still doing laundry?
Yes, I've got I still got like all the kids comforters and all that to do, the ones that uh they brought the last time here, and just I had them cleaned then, and by the time they left, every one of them they had like 5 each, and everything was dirty. And I just piled it up in a pile and left it because I was too sick. I just felt horrible. I didn't feel like doing it. I've been sick all this time, so everything. I haven't even I haven't even unpacked my boxes for moving in this house. You
No,
know,
shame on you.
I haven't. I haven't got. There's nothing hung up on my walls either. I just started doing that. I had unpacked my Christmas cookie jars and all that today. I sure did. My kitchen stuff, I just now unpacked it today. I'm like, good Lord, I'm never going to get this done. But I'm going to go shopping for me a fish tank. I got to have a fish tank.
That's a
See,
lot of work.
I had a 60-gallon one. Well, I had a 60-gallon one, and I had it for a long time. And then we had the fire, and then I got all brand new fish tank stuff because my insurance covered it all. And then it just sit all still wrapped up, and um, we were doing something different. I was flipping the RVs, so I just did not have the room, and I didn't have the uh, what it takes to take care of a fish tank because it does take a lot of work. And my son, he said, I want that fish tank. And I was like, take every bit of it. Go right ahead, take it all. So when I went to visit him, he has it set up, and it has fish in it again and all that stuff. So I was proud of that. But I'm not going to get one that big. See, I went for big again, but then I decided I don't want one that big. I want just a small one. I was going
They're
to cut.
so aggravating, ain't they? Shot of poison. I got one, and they're too much
What?
work.
I loved it. I
So aggravating.
My fish, I could go up to the tank and they would stick their heads out for me to pet them on the heads. And I had them all named. They all had names. I had videos of them too, guys. Yeah, they all had names. And
Oh, Lord.
yes, I loved my fish. And I just want more. I want some more.
Well, go get
And
you a fish tank. You're gonna have a lot of
well,
work.
what I was going to do is I thought about, okay, between my dining room and my living room, I had this wall, this partial wall. And I
Hmm.
was thinking about putting a bar there, but opening that, then I decided that I just would cut a hole in the wall and put a two-way fish tank in it. Where it'll be
Oh,
on in the kitchen, dining room, and the living room.
yeah. You've been
Yeah.
watching Tank too much. Oh,
I want a puffer fish. Have you seen them with the green eyes? Oh, they're so cute, and they'll follow you around the tank. So
see, another person says lots of work. Yep.
they are a lot of work. They are, and you ought to see, like um, one night I had these fish for a long time, and I thought that I had it down how to take care of them, and all this and that. And so I went in there, and all of a sudden they started turning upside down in my tank there, and I was like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" So me and my husband, I get one out. I'm doing mouth to mouth on my fish, y'all. I'm not joking. Mouth to mouth on my fish. Well, I saved them that night. It was unbelievable. But I used the air thing and gave them air too. My husband, he came up with that idea, but it worked. And then,
God.
it happened again, like a few days later, and I couldn't save them that time. I had to go and replace all the fish. But
Mhm.
then I went and talked to the fish people, at PetSmart, and they told me that, and they said, "How often are you cleaning your tank?" And I was like, "Every day." And they're like, "You can't do that. That's what's killing them." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? It gets dirty, and I don't want my tank dirty, so I clean it And they're like, "Ma'am, those fish, they have to have the natural bacteria, for them to live,
Yep.
for it to be stable environment. Their environment, I kept it very unstable by doing that." And I said, "Who would know that you keep a fish tank too clean and it kills fish?" I said, that never even crossed my mind that you could keep it too clean.
Mm.
But if it
Well,
wasn't
y'all.
sparkling clean, if it wasn't sparkling, the water clear, and no algae buildup on nothing. I didn't want no algae on anything. And
The fish had never got nothing to eat either.
it was crazy.
Good gracious.
Well, I know better now, so.
Well, I guess we're gonna get off of here. We've been on here almost 3 hours.
No way. No
Two
wonder
hours
we
and
met.
40 minutes.
No way. I'm going to see if that treasure is able to listen to. I'll listen to it while I fall asleep. Oh, listen to that Southern lady. Thank you, Southern lady, for being a part of this. And I hope that we come early enough for you because she didn't want to fall asleep in the middle of it. So,
Yeah. Well, I
yeah.
appreciate everybody that come out tonight and enjoy
And
us.
so done with it. Be ready
Thank you
for
for keeping us
questions
on
next
track.
Friday.
Thank you for keeping us on track. So done with it.
Yes, I don't even know what we would have done.
Good night, everyone. Good
Thank you
night,
guys for being
Tiara.
here and loving us in spite of how evil we are. I'm sorry. I'm just joking, but
Just
you
her.
know,
Just I'm the good girl. She's the bad guy.
whatever. I'm the angel. Y'all are the ones got. You know what? I'm always every day. I have to take a file and file them damn horns off of them two girls
Let me tell
every
you what
day.
they say. Shut the fuck up, broken taxes.
No, they say shut the fuck up and sit down. Yeah, that's what they say. Except that right now I can't sit down because I fell down yesterday and I got a goose egg on my butt and it
Oh
hurt.
God.
I have been standing up most of the day keeping myself busy. I have. Because I don't want to sit down right now. I'm sitting on one leg
Not
almost
on
like,
her butt, y'all.
I
Not on her
did.
butt.
It hurt. It did hurt, really. Thank you, Blues Girls, for being here. I appreciate it. We do appreciate y'all. And we're going to do another giveaway really soon.
Yeah.
We are.
Giveaway broken.
Yeah,
Who's gonna
we're
take
good.
her this time?
I know we're gonna give me away for the day. Anybody would take me. I work hard now. Let me tell you, I
she,
do work
she
hard.
works hard making a mess, getting everything out.
I know I do. I throw it.
Got
See, I
drove
throw it all
everywhere.
out, and then I have to organize it, and then I clean my mess up. But it takes me forever to get the mess cleaned up. My husband cleaned my kitchen up for me tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I cooked dinner. It took me like 3.5 hours to cook dinner. I'm like, so, and he cleaned it up for me. So he's really sweet. My husband's a good man. I love him. He's really sweet.
Well,
I don't know what I would
hallelujah,
do
praise
without
the
him.
Lord for that.
I know. That I have a really good husband. I've really been very blessed. My boys were very blessed to have him in their life. Really.
Well, good,
He
good.
doesn't think that because of the way I yell at him, but someday he'll watch this because he's probably listening now.
Good night, Blues Girl. Well,
Y'all
good
have a good
night,
night.
y'all. Yeah, y'all have
And
a good
y'all come
night.
back to see us the next time we come
Come
back.
back to see us now, y'all. Come back.
You
Y'all come
hear
back.
how they say that? Y'all hear?
Y'all here?
You
Y'all
y'all
here?
hear?
Y'all come back now. You
You
hear?
hear?
You
You
hear?
hear? Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Toodles.
Toodles.
She's always behind y'all. I don't get it.
Don't let her lie to y'all. I'm
I
right.
don't know.